noise kills evil in this valley of the dark. So walk with us through it. Come on, now let's start. Every time you show love, your spirit will soar. The angels rejoice as they cry out for more. More of your giving, more kindness and love. Doing more for others as hearts rise above. The hate and the fear the world wants to bring is useless against you as your spirit it sings. Because this army is strong, even though they act soft. Every sword used against them, its aim will be off. Every blow, every strike will always falter. This army bows only to the Father's great altar. Bring in the crusaders, bring in those who give. Bring in the peacemakers and those who protect kids. There is no match for this army of good. Send heathens and thieves right back to the hood. Strike out with violence if you feel that you must, but your swing will fall short, bullets crumble to dust. You may win the battle, but you won't win the war, because this army right here brings so much more. To the table we gather with sword and shield. We fight hatred with kindness and the world is healed. We strike cold into the hearts of those who prefer hate, because our hearts are true and our spirits won't break. Bring in the crusaders, bring in those who give. Bring in the peacemakers and those who protect kids. Bring in the great ones who are wise and true. Bring in the intelligent who can always see through. Ooh, 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 in this war for truth, the end is foretold. It's a victory of hearts who come into the fold. Welcome all friends whose hearts are true, spirits are pure. We need all of you.
Hey everyone, happy Thursday evening.
Hello.
Gio Boards is always like right on time. Good to see you, GL. Good to see you, Real Rock and Robin, Eve, all of our mods. Thank you for joining. Your local weather forecast. Nikki Stevenson, good to see you here. We've got Smoky Mountain Robin. We've got a lot of Robins in this place. Rock and Robin.
I'm having an eyeglass malfunction. I can't see.
Hey, another round. Jen's excited about tonight. She was like dancing around a while ago.
No, shut.
So tonight, as you all know, hopefully, if you saw the title, we are focusing on Layla's case tonight. I think it's been a little while, and I'm glad we're getting back to it. We will have special guests here in just a couple seconds.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have Jennifer, and we're also going to bring in, if they show up, we're going to bring in the Layla's search team members. They're all invited.
And Opie.
Hopefully Opie. We are going to cover where we left off last year. We're going to talk to Jennifer and Opie and the team about kind of what's happened throughout the winter. I've got some clips. Opie went off on Facebook at one point, and I loved it. I loved every second of it.
He deserves to.
He defended his wife and
the
whole situation. So, and then we're going to bring you guys up to speed, see what Jennifer and Opie have going right now and all that. So to get started, we want to bring up Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you again.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
The audio is really good, actually.
Good.
It has been too long. I'm so sorry we've gone feels like months since we
It has, yeah. Well, I've kind of been a bit of a recluse the last few months. or I started going to therapy. I started seeing a psychiatrist, and then that took forever to get like the meds worked out, because you know how that goes. You got to try everything for 6 weeks and see how it affects you, and whether it's going to work or not work, or just be bad all around. And you're kind of like a guinea pig of your own making for a little while. And
I definitely
yeah,
know how that works. I have firsthand
yeah.
knowledge of
It
that.
is never fun. It is never ever fun. And I avoided it for a long, long time. But this year kind of broke me, and I had to do something. I was not doing well mentally. The grief hit really, really hard, and I imagine it always will. So I figured I had to find a way to live with it
Right.
and get through it, and let it just be right here next to me, and live my life at the same time. Um, yeah, so it's been a rough few months. I know I need to get back at it, and the summertime's here, and the sun and my plants and all the
Yeah.
things are kind of bringing back the light in me. Thank the Lord. I'm ready to get up and push on. I hate that I had to take this hiatus, but like my therapist kind of at one point was like, "You're exhausted. Like
Mhm.
you're exhausted. You're going to end up in the hospital for exhaustion. Like you have to slow it down, and you have to find a way to sit with the way that you feel, and just be." And I'm so grateful that I have Opie and the people in my life that are so supportive. Because I spent a lot of weeks just binge watching TV and just not doing anything, just
Yeah.
resting, just
I don't blame
giving
you.
myself the time and the space, and not being mad at myself, and not constantly thinking in the back of my head like I should be doing something, I should be doing something. I had to let go of all of that. I haven't even been to the gym in like 3 months, which I'm excited to get back to that here soon too. But I had to just stop and
Yep.
pause and give myself the freedom to grow through it.
Jennifer, that is my sister. My sister just decided to call on this. I gotta tell you. So one thing, I know that's hard. I know a lot of people that are going through in the middle of that whole scenario where you want to be in bed all day. You don't want to exist, and to actually make the decision to go ahead and get
Yeah,
help. Like I'm so proud of you. Like we're so proud
Yes.
of you
Very
for
proud of
making that
you.
step.
thanks.
Yeah.
And it especially hit us. It hit me. I'll tell you what. When we were on our last search on that road,
Mm.
the abandoned road, the long wilderness road, and I could tell, Jennifer, like you were not in your normal headspace.
All right.
Yeah.
You were sitting when I saw you sitting on that bridge, just staring off across the field where we found that hole or whatever, and you were just staring, and it was like, something's up. Like so I'm assuming it was after that search that you ended up deciding you need to do something.
This last search, this
The one
spring?
in, yeah,
No,
it
it
was,
was prior. It was prior.
so you were going
It was, yeah, I just, again, I knew that a lot of times I try to avoid being there. Like I kind of try to detach when I'm on a
Yeah.
search. And so, I knew that going into that I was going to have to again sit with it. So if that meant
yeah,
sitting down at the bridge and just taking it all in, or separating myself from what you were all doing, like when y'all start digging, I have to step away anyway because it just makes my stomach turn.
Of course.
So it was just at this point, like I'm learning my triggers. I'm learning when I need to step away, when I need to breathe, when I have a feeling and I know that I need to sit in it instead of run from it. I know that
Mhm.
that's, it's what I got to do. So I go and I do it, and it is what it is.
so
I think I was in the worst space, Ryan. I remember I called you. I was taking Layla's sister home, because she had spent some time here, and
okay,
I had driven her to meet her uncle and her grandfather halfway, and I was driving back and I called you. And I don't know if you remember that conversation, but it was a long one, and I cried, and you were like worried about me, and it was shortly after that that I
Okay,
sought help. Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, that. So what I noticed on that search then was really you using those coping skills that you were
Yeah.
learning in therapy. That makes a lot of sense. I was worried about. I'll tell you, I was probably the most worried about you on late last year at that time, and I mean even your friends, your Opie, your search team, everyone knew it. Everyone was saying she's not okay. She's not feeling okay. So it's so nice to see you. You look like you have more life
Yeah.
Mm.
and just more energy today than you did back then. So it's so
Oh
good to
yeah.
see.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, and Opie apparently is working on
Still
fixing the
working
dishwasher.
on the dishwasher. Yes, sir.
He's been working on that dishwasher for like almost 2 weeks now. I'm pretty
Well,
sure
it's been
I'm
a
the one that
week.
broke it.
Well, at least he's working on it.
Yeah, I
some,
know.
some people don't do
Yeah,
that.
He's like obsessed.
it's cheaper to try to fix it than to buy a new one, but it's about aggravating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they aren't cheap. They are
Mhm.
not cheap. And speaking of Opie, I want to show everyone a little bit of recap. So while Jennifer was going through this period of time where she's trying to deal with everything, I'm going to show some clips late last year, and it started before the road search. There was a earlier search last year of the abandoned house we kept going back to in Bloomingdale, and eventually, and I'm going to explain it in this clip here. Jennifer got, I'm going to call it a tip, a rumor, a tip, inside some information from someone that indicated there could be something very important at that property.
Yeah.
Before we had been, I think, maybe somewhat randomly just searching the property, looking for something. And then this tip was huge. It was like, and of course, at that time, the police weren't just going to go out and do anything. So Jennifer's left there with this information, and she's like, well, I'm going to do something. So she called everyone. She's like, we've got to find this well. We need to understand where this is, what it is on the property. So what I'm going to show you all is what that happened. And I think the date on this, it was like fall, I think late summer, early fall last year,
Yeah.
November time period. Let's take a look at this.
All right. We had other things planned for this weekend, but we had a last minute text from Jennifer Santanello asking us for help searching a well on that abandoned property we had been on a while back. She has some news or rumors or information that there could be something down one of the wells on that property. So I'm bringing our underwater drone, our UAV, with, I think what I'm going to do in this case, obviously I can't run the rotors. It's not going to be able.
And by the way, you guys, when Jen was like, we're looking for a well, I'm thinking a wellhead, like, a foot or something big enough to drop something down into. I'm going to show you what we ended up doing when we got to the location, and it was not what we expected at all.
No.
to be controlled in a well, but I'm going to drop it face down. There's lights on it. I got the camera. We can watch it real time. And I'm going to tie a rope on the back of the UAV and drop it straight down into the well if it's at least a foot wide so it can fit inside. If not, I'm going to have to go old school and use the GoPro from a rope, which I don't like to do because it spins until it hits the water. It's harder to control and I can't see real time. So we're going to head over there now. We're meeting at 10 in the morning, all of us. And maybe this is it. We're praying that this is the last search there and hopefully something comes of it.
So we were all hopeful. The search team, Jennifer, I mean, we all thought, hey, this is a real tip. This is a real location. It's rare that Jennifer gets something, this real. And so we were all excited, at least if we could see some ounce of something that then would draw in the police to come in and do something. That was the hope. I'm going to fast forward to when we found it. This was, I'm gonna, those of you who haven't seen the video, I'm gonna put the video in the description after this live. It was wild, and we were at the house, and the first thing we looked at was this building, which we thought maybe the well's in this building.
On the corner of the door, there's a whole bunch of them. Exactly what they did.
Oh, sorry. Where is it?
Oh wait.
Oh, there it is.
But that pipe definitely is what comes in from the well.
that's definitely a
This was a brick, sort of like water house shed type deal near that abandoned house.
well pump right there.
And that pipe comes in, right? So it goes in that direction. Okay, it's not in the building.
It wasn't in that, so we ended up following the pipe direction. The pipe left that building and pointed toward a stand of trees. So we ended up going down to the stand of trees, just trying to see if there was anything down there. And this is what happened.
That's got to be it.
This was the pile.
Oh my God.
Now, the first thing I saw in this location were the pipes laying on the ground. So that was weird. Like, why are there a bunch of pipes pulled out of something, ripped apart? Something had been dismantled. And then we came across this.
There's a hole. That doesn't look like a concrete. Yeah, it is concrete. The fuck?
Oh yeah.
It's totally filled in. Okay, that might be able to punch through.
Yeah, I was poking.
I think that's it. I think this is the well right here. Yeah. How the fuck would they stick anything down in there?
And she's bones.
They would have to cover up tiny.
That's gross.
Not really. Because if she's decomposed down the bones, they
That-
could just drop bone in at a time.
Pour it down in, yeah.
I'm sorry, Jennifer. I forgot we were talking that grotesque. I apologize.
It's okay. I get it.
So we found that, and I tried to basically put a stick down in there. It had obviously been packed full of dirt, which was super suspicious. When you heard about we found the well, Jennifer, what was your first thought?
Just okay. A well exists now. Supposedly, the tip had said that there might be two. And then the fact that it was filled in. I mean, you're talking about this was more than 2 years later, right? And it could have been filled in at any time. It could have been completely open 2 years ago, and then something nefarious was placed in there, and then it was closed up. Like we don't like there were so many people staying on that property from time to time to time, like transients and active addicts and just it was like a I don't even know how to describe it. It was, just somewhere where people would show up with a tent and just stay. And so, to earn their keep, people would do just about anything. Like I've heard rumors and stories that the bones and things, the animal bones that we first found when we first went out there were brought on purpose. That anyone who wanted to stay had to come with an animal carcass, roadkill.
What?
Or something. Yeah, it's a rumor. I have no way of verifying that for certain, but it was a rumor that I've heard that for a while after Layla's disappearance and after Holland's, that in order to stay there and party there, you had to bring bones or something. I don't know. And supposedly that was to, ward off any scent of human I don't know. but again, rumor, not substantiated, don't know for sure, but this is something that was, told to me. And then if you remember, because it was all, what you found was all closed up, and also like there was so much brush. It was so thick, remember? Like it was so hard to even get to that spot, and like it was the end of the season, so there was grass and thorns and like all the things. And I reached out to law enforcement and I was like, look, I just have a bad feeling about this. I need y'all to go out there. I need you to look into this. And we don't have enough, what's the word? What is it called?
Resources.
No, it's, we don't have enough. In order to get the warrant, you need probable cause. We don't have enough probable cause. And do you remember I went off about it on Facebook? And apparently,
I'm gonna get to that, Jennifer. So, yeah, you and I, we kind of like, before I get to that, I just wanted to mention real quick, we covered, so this, I believe Bia Mama Via's Brandy Neal. Have you and Brandy ever met or talked?
Me and Brandy Neal. The name sounds very, very familiar.
Brandy is, oh my gosh, my brain.
Everybody's brain.
Hold on a second. I'm so sorry. I covered the case recently too. Vaughn. Michael Vaughn?
All sounds familiar, but yeah, my brain is Swiss cheesy.
I've
talked to so many people.
So we recently we covered Michael Vaughn's case. Michael Vaughn went missing. A little boy in the neighborhood, he was on a bike, disappeared. There's 3-4 horrible, disgusting suspects, I'm sorry, who just, they obviously did it, but they're going through trial. And Brandy's a warrior, just like you. You guys are so much alike. I'll be honest with you, your personalities are. I didn't know if maybe at any of the Comic-Con, of the Crime Con conferences or anything like that, you two ever met, but
I don't recall, but that doesn't mean that we didn't. And if we didn't, I would love to have a conversation with her.
She's here in chat tonight. It was Fruitland, Idaho, where Michael Vaughn went missing.
Wow.
She said she probably doesn't know me. I just want her to know how incredibly strong she is, and I'm supporting her from afar, everything I can. You do have support. I'm sure you know this. You have supporters from all over the country, if not all over the world, for Layla. So yeah. And I know it's hard because you're going through what you've been going through. You're also trying to deal with the case. And then I know people reach out to me and they're like, I tried to get in touch with Jennifer and she's not responding. And I'm like, you got to understand. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Oh, Emily, thank you so much for joining as a new member. Appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
After we found this well, okay, this post from Jennifer is actually after the whole, I'll call it a public push. So Jennifer was basically putting out, hey, I need the public's help. We found this well. There's a substantial tip. We don't have probable cause. Why we're being told we don't have probable cause for the cops to go check this out. We need them to go search. So Jennifer put out a post on Facebook and she's like, I need the public. I need all of you. You've got to call them, tell them they need to search this property. I saw her post. I'm like, hell yeah. And so I reposted it. I put it on Facebook, and we both just blasted the public. And it sounded like there was a substantial uprising from the community, especially and the search happened, and so finally it was amazing. And then Jennifer,
they were not happy with me at all. Apparently it was the first time the chief of Kingsport PD actually got involved, because he was like, this is out of control. We gotta put a lid on this. This is out of control. And then all of a sudden they just stumbled upon probable cause. Is that not amazing?
It's amazing.
It's amazing. They landed in their laps, you guys. Landed right in their laps that week. It's amazing. But no, I did end up taking dogs out there, and they had a small search crew because they thought it was all hokey pokey bogus bullshit, right? They take dogs out there, they get their warrant, they take the dogs, and the dogs hit near the well multiple times, and it was like just a small handful of dogs. So the next day they came back with 30 men, machinery, and a bunch more dogs. They run the dogs again, same dogs and new dogs, they all hit. And they spent the entire day excavating an area. It was like 20 yards by 20 yards is the way it was described to me. And they took those machines and they just dug and dug and dug, and they came up with absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It was the worst day ever.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about the fact that the dogs hit, but I'm going to show everyone the moment you found out. You made this post on Facebook, updating everyone on exactly what happened. You went into all the details. So let's get to Jennifer's Facebook post. This was actually TikTok, but you put it on Facebook too, right? This was originally TikTok.
Yeah.
Happened this week, and I have to say that I really believe it was you guys who got us there. So this one's for you. Hi, my name is Jennifer Santanello, and my 20-year-old daughter disappeared just over 2 years ago. She was officially last seen at the AmeriCorps Hotel in Kingsport, Tennessee on June 27th, 2023, between 6 and 7 a.m. She was last seen wearing a white head top, black leggings, and apparently no shoes. A couple of weeks ago, I expressed my frustration on the Book of Faces about a piece of property, a specific area of a piece of property that I wanted looked into. Okay? It's kind of hard to explain because I have to explain without explaining, but yeah. So I had asked all of you guys to send emails and flood KPD and let them know that, like, you're still out there and you're still pulling for our girl, and you did just that. So I get a call yesterday from somebody at KPD, and they're maintaining that probable cause happened to land in their lap sometime in the last couple weeks. And they were able to get a search warrant to look into this specific area that I so badly wanted looked into. They took one dog and a few guys out the first day, and the dog hit in the area that I specifically wanted looked into. And they realized that they couldn't do a lot with the few people that they had that day. The dog hitting was probable cause to get another warrant and go back out the next day. They brought a bigger crew and more dogs, and multiple dogs hit in this area. So they started digging. And I was told that they dug 40 foot by 40 foot by 5 or 6 feet deep. And they took their time with it, and it was exhausting, but they made it happen. And at the end of the day, when the sun went down, they hadn't found anything. Which is incredibly disappointing, but also, I don't know, it's so... Is it disappointing that she has not been found no longer alive?
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't guess so, no. Because the more times she's not found in bits and pieces, the longer we can hold out hope that we'll bring her home.
Oh, Jennifer! Oh my gosh, I have to tell you, wrong one. I struggle every time I watch one of your videos. I can hear the emotion and I can see the emotion, and we know we've seen you in person. We know you're not faking anything. Like people have said, crying on camera, faking. We know you're not faking
you're
shit.
not.
and watching that to me is like, it's like last night when I was talking to Nicole, the mother of not last night, earlier this week, Ethan Boyd, and we're sitting there, and I'm playing a clip of Nug and Adam and myself, and Nug and I are talking about the pieces like her son allegedly getting thrown into this river, tied to concrete blocks, and we're talking about his body getting scattered all over the river. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, we're sitting here talking about this. His mother's right there. Now his mother was on panel with me listening to this, and it always dawns on me. We're out there in the field too sometimes with you, and we start talking about scenarios like this, and it's like you just said, like, her bones in pieces could be down this well. And then it dawns on me, I'm like, this is her mother. This is her mother who has to contemplate this scenario. It's got to be so hard. I don't know how you process it. Just imagine. How do you deal with these conversations that people have about your daughter? They're so.
That's a good question.
I have to be realistic. I mean, I have to be realistic. I came to terms with it a long time ago that you know what I mean? And again, like, I detach a little bit. I've learned how to compartmentalize better than I ever have in my entire life. I'm a very emotional person. I wear my heart on my sleeve and everything melds together for me. I live through my emotion. I feel it physically, whereas, like, I know that there are other people out there that, like, they're detached from their emotion and they live, like, not fully even understanding what emotions they're feeling because they're so far away from them. And I can't understand what that is, because it's always just been like emotion and me are one, like there's no separating the two. But through this process, I've had to, like, learn how to compartmentalize different things, and I have to be realistic. I have to. It's gonna suck the day that it does happen, that we find pieces. I may end up in a rubber room. I don't know. But for now, it's just a thought and a maybe and a reality far, far away that may come to fruition. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that it's gruesome, and initially it was a hard. I remember that first fucking weekend. This takes me back to that first weekend where someone had started a rumor. They claimed that the West Side Inn had been raided, and that it was because Layla had been found, that one of the officers at the raid was speaking to a resident of, not the West Side, it was the AmeriCorps. A member, it was someone who was living at the AmeriCorps, had a conversation with an officer during this raid of this hotel where Layla had been last seen. And she claimed that it was because Layla had been found in Johnson City, beheaded, naked, stuffed in a trash can or barrel or something like that. And I remember climbing into my bed. I remember imagining that and climbing into my bed and being completely paralyzed, not being able to move, not being able to speak. I cried. I mean, I cried and cried all day. Family came by to just, we thought this was true to the point where, like, we were sitting vigil. Like, people were coming by and just sitting on my bed with me. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we thought that was it. Like, someone was going to call at some point. Now, Detective Claire had gone on vacation with his family, and I didn't know who would show up. I hadn't talked to anyone from TBI yet at that point. I didn't know who the point of contact would be. And thank the Lord, you know, my ex, the boy's dad, he was a firefighter. He's a paramedic. He worked for the city of Kingsport for 15 years, and he knows the coroner, and he knows all these people, and he has a whole network. And it took him all day to finally track down all the right people to verify that this was complete bullshit. But I spent the entire day believing that this had happened. And at the end of that, I put up a wall. And I was like, okay, I'm never doing that to myself again. You know, I'll openly listen to any gruesome craziness, you know, and I will not take it into account or make it real in my mind until there is proof.
Right.
That's
Because
a smart.
You can't live like that.
Exactly. It's a smart way to separate it in your head. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I got so many questions for you on that line because you know how social media is. People come
Yeah.
out with theories and even posts. Oh, I see comments on some of your videos where people will post a theory, and it's like, don't post that on the mother's. You know what I mean? Don't post it on the mother's Facebook page. It's horrible,
Right.
and some of it's from some of it's from psychic. What's your stance on psychics now when they come to you? Are you still
It depends on
entertaining
the
them?
psychics.
Okay.
You know, the Bolesky is an amazing human. What Kirsten, the mother of Seven of the Stars, her whole heart was in it. Okay, you know, whether she was completely correct in her thoughts and the things that she brought to me, I don't know. We still haven't verified any of it, but
Yeah.
she was all in. You know, her heart was truly in it. So, you know, I appreciated her taking the time and effort and pouring into it. Ah, what was the other psychic's name, baby? Kelly the Magical Medium. Also, all in, fully there, really truly wanting to help. You know what I mean? Like, and then you have others that are just in it for themselves, others that just want the notoriety, others that want. There was also that woman from England, from the UK. She was awesome. She had a dream and she didn't
Wow.
know anything about Layla's case. She had a dream and she posted to social media, you know, and just so many things lined up with Layla's case that people were like, whoa, wait, I think I know who she's talking about. And so I got tagged and it eventually, and she actually took the post down because she
Oh
had
my.
so many people in her inbox and she felt like she was being spammed and like
No.
she thought people were messing with her. And so I finally reached out myself. And she was actually kind of an asshole to me in the beginning because she didn't realize, like, you know, she thought I was just messing with her for, you know what I mean? Like she thought like the way that most people think about me was about us, you know? So, you know, there have been some that have been really, truly wonderful. The thing about mediums, is, you know, especially the good ones, is that all they think it's not an exact science. They all have
Yeah.
different gifts. They all read it differently, and it's pieces of a puzzle. It's never the whole picture, and that's the hard part, right?
Yes.
It's always they can hand you these pieces. They're vague and they're filtered through that person's own perspective and life experiences, and you know you're getting a little something different from everyone, and then it's all these little pieces that you don't know how to put together. And so that's the hard part when it comes to true mediums. And then there's also like the bullshit ones, like, you know, that crazy lady that keeps trying to claim that I don't even want to go there.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about. I agree. I agree. And it's like and they'll say it. There are we've interacted with, I will say I can count on one hand the good ones that they really do want, they do really do want to help, but you're right. Like what they offer is a little glimpse of something that doesn't seem to make any sense, and you have to connect it to there's symbols, there's
Yeah.
the best one we came across, us personally, was the one we took to the west side. She was wearing all black and she walked around with us, and I think I sent you guys the details where she described how many people were at west side, what was on the truck, the color of the truck, all
Yeah.
these things we didn't know. Apparently she was hitting like the nail on the head on a number of things, but again, it
Yeah.
was vague. It didn't tell us
Yeah.
where, it didn't tell us when or who. It just told us, okay, it was somewhat
Right.
accurate, but doesn't point us anywhere. So that, for me, that's the frustrating part. It's like they're helpful, but they don't point you on a map, the X on the map. They just don't send you to
Right.
to a place, and it's
Oh yeah.
frustrating. But
Yeah.
I get it. I want to welcome Jessica. Jessica is the quiet hero of the team.
I'm late.
Hi,
Oh,
beautiful.
Hi.
Sierra's here too. We've got.
Hey, Sierra.
Hey, Sierra, can you hear us? Okay, are you able to unmute? I would call Sierra and Jess are sort of I'm going to call them the leaders of Layla's team. They organize, they collect info. They work with Jen, obviously, to collect information, and then they try to organize specific spots. And like we were just talking about with Jennifer, finding specific spots is so hard. And Opie, are you licking the screen? Or
Sorry, I couldn't help but laugh.
that was too funny. Sierra and Jess organize every one of these searches. We can't take credit for it because they're like, hey, we're going to this spot this weekend. We've got pretty good information. Let's go do it. And so that's not us, that's them. They organize it all. They research like mad. They talk to locals. They work with Jennifer on any information that comes to Jennifer. Yeah. So I want to say tonight, Jess and Sierra, I admire you both so much, and all the effort, how many years now, you've been going through just trying to come up with location after location after location. The best one obviously was the abandoned property, and the well was such a close thing. How did you feel, Jess, after that fell through, after they did the search and they had the hits and it just was nothing?
A little defeated, but the way that I always say it, and I know I've said it to Sierra multiple times, even with defeat, if I can mark that place off, that's a win.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because you just move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So it was rough. That was a rough property.
Yes.
That was a lot of searches too. Mm-hmm. Are you okay, Sierra? Are you able to do audio?
Yeah, I just got it fixed. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hear you good.
Okay.
How are you doing, Sierra?
Hanging in there. I'm here.
Yeah.
It took me a while. My internet's
Jen and I feel for every one of you on panel right now, because we know even in we're not going to talk about details, in your personal lives, we know you go through so much, every single one of you, and yet you still continue trying to find locations and continue trying to go out and search, and it blows my mind how dedicated every one of you are. I don't know how you do it.
Just to see the number of people coming together is pretty heartwarming.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think all of us here probably won't ever stop until we get answers, at least.
Right.
Man, the day answers come out, number one, the day answers come out, the first thing we're going to do is give Opie and Jennifer space, because they're going to need it once there's answers. So hopefully everyone understands that when these missing persons cases come to a resolution, the family. And Jennifer, this is the other thing. Again, one thing I talked to Nicole about the other night, and you mentioned this to me, like that night that you were, I'm not going to call it a nervous breakdown, but you were having a breakdown, sort of, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll call it.
For sure.
And you were explaining to me how it feels to be in this purgatory where you can't grieve, but you don't know if you should grieve because you don't know the state of your daughter. So it's like you're constantly trying to grieve, but when you start, you don't know if you should. And I can't even imagine what that purgatory feels like.
And you are like, there is grief because she's gone. Right? Yeah. Like, grief isn't just because you know for a fact someone is dead. It's the loss of something. Like, I remember when my ex and I split up. We had been a family for 8 years. We had raised 3 children together. And when that relationship went bust, I grieved the family that I had. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what sent me down the rabbit hole. And in my early 30s, I was in active addiction. And because I wasn't handling that grief correctly, right? And because I didn't recognize it as grief, right? Because no one had died. but it's, my whole life, my entire 20s had died, and I had to pick up and move on and create new, and it was a very difficult transition. That was grief. And I recognize that now looking back. I didn't know it when I was in the middle of it, but like a loss of anything can cause grief. And my
Yeah.
daughter, I've not been able to hold her or laugh with her, or you know what I mean, or even have an argument with her for almost 3 years now. So obviously, yeah, there is grief. Like it's inevitable, but then it's like, do I like jump head into this grieving process? Do I hold back on and like try to pause it and stop it? And that's the purgatory. Like, what do? You're just stuck in this place of like no direction.
Yeah, and I don't
can't imagine that.
can't imagine. Like nobody can understand, and that's the other thing we were talking about the other night is I think the only people that can possibly understand what that feels like to sort of keep on pre-grieving, you start grieving and then you stop. You can't get all the way to the end because you don't have answers. And I think the only people possibly that can understand the emotion that entails are other missing person's parents, the parents
Absolutely.
of other kids, right? I can't even imagine. I can't even begin to imagine.
No,
We've
no one
gotten,
can. I remember, back in the day listening to true crime stories and different missing person cases and trying to imagine myself, in that. And it's so heart-wrenching immediately because I'm a very empathetic person. So like I can try to feel what others feel and I can get there sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's so agonizing immediately the moment you put yourself in that person's position. The agony sets in and you run from it. You run from that discomfort. You're like, oh no, I can't even think about that, and so no one can really understand because it's so awful that no normal person would want to sit inside those feelings without being forced to.
yeah. Our friend Vern, the sonar guy we often go out in the field with and talk to families, he always says that you shouldn't say that you've got closure for a family when you find someone. It's you've got them answers. Closure comes after the family's gone through that final grieving process.
Yeah.
So, it's like you can't help them with that. That's kind of like what the family has to process once it's over. We've gotten this question several times. I forgot I wanted to talk about this too. I'm sorry to jump back and forth, but there is on the property there was the initial dog that hit, and then there were other dogs that. How many dogs in total hit, Jennifer?
Oh, I don't remember now, but it was like at least 5
Okay, I was gonna
on
say
the
Wow.
like 5 or 6 on the second visit. Like they called in, and I think the dogs that ended up showing up were ones that were here for like local for a training, or maybe they had been in Knoxville for some training or something, and they just so happened to be like, oh yeah, we'll come up. You know what I mean? It was something along those lines where it was like, hey, they called around and it was like, hey, we had this one dog hit. We'd like to have a few more dogs and da 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 da. And it just so happened that a small group of people, trainers, had their dogs somewhere, within 100-mile radius and were willing to come. But it was quite a few, which is mind blowing. And then, and then their reason. So there was like a burn pile somewhere
Yeah.
near where they ended up digging, right? And they were wondering and thinking if maybe they had been burning trash, maybe they had burned, I don't know, bloody cloths or tampons, or you know what I mean, like anything of that nature, even like needles and drug paraphernalia with human flesh or blood or whatever on it. If it's decaying, the dogs will pick up on that. It's also very possible that there was remains in the area and they were just removed.
So
there's no way to know.
One thing we have absolutely 100% learned the whole past 12 months we've been, you guys know, I told you on our last search that Moon Moon's been in training, so that's why we did
Yeah.
the field exercise, and she's getting certified hopefully next week. And the thing that we've learned from this is a group up in Pennsylvania, the American Working Dog Association, one of the best organizations in the country training canines for a variety of things, bombs, drugs, everything. And one thing that bothered me about the fact that multiple dogs hit on that well was that when they say a dog has hit, there's indicate, which is like they show interest in an area. When a dog hits, there's a extremely high percentage likelihood that there were human remains there.
Yes.
And what bothers me, and I'm curious your take on this, is when we were searching this property, we knew there were two cases we were interested in. Obviously Layla, and there was also Holland's. And Snap's case, there are some rumors, pretty gruesome rumors. I'm not going to get into them, but the way that they allegedly got rid of her body bothers me, because if you think about it, a well, discarding those remains in a well, I don't know if it would be bones,
right,
or skin or hair.
I know.
So that kind of concerns me a little bit, that maybe it was related to her case.
Oh yeah,
So-
well, law enforcement fully believes that that property has nothing to do with Layla, and is more likely, if it has anything to do with either case, it would be Holland's. And I don't know what reasoning they have. They don't tell me all that stuff, but their stance is that if something is found on that property, it will most likely be more towards a Holland situation than a Layla situation.
Mhm.
They have other thoughts on Leila's situation. But yeah, so, but there's also like all these crazy rumors, right? About there was a trailer on the property, and we know that there was because we saw the setup where the trailer was, the camper or whatever was. We also know that it was like there's a big burn spot where the camper was. We also had heard, at least Sierra had heard, where'd she go? That that camper was covered in blood at some point.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sierra had
I
heard from
heard-
an anonymous source that someone they knew had been the one to clean the camper of the blood.
I remember that. Yeah, but I thought it was the rugs getting taken out. I didn't realize there was actual blood found.
That's that. I mean, again, rumor, not substantiated. We don't know for sure, but it's something that has been talked about over and over and over again amongst, that group of people, that it got out of the circle into Sierra. You know what I mean? So it's awful.
Where
just
did that trailer go?
it was moved, and we think we actually know where it is, but
Okay.
nobody takes that rumor serious. Like, law enforcement doesn't really take that rumor seriously. So there's, I don't know. All it would take is a little bit of luminol, unless they actually
I
have
know,
burnt the
right?
damn thing to the ground at this point. I don't know.
Definitely.
There are those of you in chat. There are many situations where all of us have talked to each other, and we're just like, let's just order luminol off of Amazon.
I know. We can all throw in and just get our own luminol.
We laugh, but it is very sad.
It is sad.
It's such an
I
easy
know.
thing to check, and the next thing I would like to dive into, try to check where Sierra is.
Do we know where she is?
She said her internet was acting up.
Oh, okay.
She's trying. Okay. This next thing, it really bothered me when I saw it, and this is related to Opie. So I'm gonna cover.
Come on, baby, it's your time to shine.
Yeah, this
Forget about the dishwasher.
this was in December of last year. So in the fall of last year, the two of you were having issues. Your house was under threat. You were falling behind on your mortgage. You were asked. I don't know if I didn't really follow what happened before this, how you were asking or what you were asking for. But were you asking for support for the mortgage to catch up?
You're muted, babe. No, they can't hear you, love. Come out here. Turn it off and come out here.
There we go.
That'll work.
So in essence, I had started making videos. I had seen another woman whose husband was a vet, and he had left the military to get a regular job at home to be closer to his family, blah 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 blah. And every day she was making these videos, and she was wanting to pay down the debt. She was trying to do it behind his back, and she was trying to earn money just from likes and views and da 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 da. There was no GoFundMe, there was no asking people to send money, there was none of that. And she was doing really, really well. She actually like managed to make it happen, right? And I was like, wow, maybe I could do that for Opie, because we had fallen so far behind and he was so stressed out. And so I started making those same kind of videos. Like, why not? I'm getting paid per view. You know, on TikTok, you get paid per view after 10,000 views. On Facebook, you get paid per view immediately. I don't do the others, so I don't know anything about the others, but you know, I thought, okay, let's try this, right? Again, I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking anyone to pay my bills. I'm not asking anyone to send anything. That's not what I'm here for. I'm trying to, and at first I was trying to do it like I literally made him block me. I was like, yeah, no, oh, I blocked him. That's right. He's right. And I was trying to do it quietly without his knowing, but eventually it did get back to him, and that's, you know, that's when the shit hit the fan because of the comments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now it's your time to shine.
No good
here.
deed is left unpunished, as they say. I don't.
Correct.
So
basically-
basically, people was trying to say she was begging for money to get our house caught up, which was not the case. It was trying to get views and likes and comments and the whole 9 yards to get financial help through the views from TikTok. Like
You guys,
people do.
how close were you to losing your house?
I can't hear.
Maybe
Maybe I need to get my Bluetooth in here.
maybe.
Or open.
How close were we to losing the house?
Yeah.
Oh, we did lose you. Hang on a second. We turn the Bluetooth off and back on.
We hear you okay.
Come on.
Okay, here we go.
What does it even
There.
mean? Did it go to his phone?
It's unmuted. So
I
Opie's
cannot-
on.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
I can
I'm
hear
on
you
now.
now. Okay, we're good now.
So how close?
Okay.
How close were you?
We got so close. This is so messed up. Are you ready for this? We got so close that they had sent the actual paperwork to evict us and take over the house. Okay. So Opie calls them, and at this point, Opie had already applied for hardship to pull from his 401k. Okay. And we were just waiting for a response. Then he got approved, and he was gonna get like $9,000. We were almost $12,000 behind. He was gonna get $9,000. Okay, and then, you know, we had to figure it out from there. But $9,000 is a huge chunk of it, right? But then we had to wait for a check, and we were waiting for a check here. And then we had that. Then it turned out the
Then
check
we had
went
to
to
wait
his
on that check.
job,
Oh no.
and he didn't know, right? That it had gone to his, and like literally, we had like a date that was like 14 days out. And if we didn't get it in by that day, like that was it. It was over for us. And so we're just waiting for this check. A few days go by. Then he comes home from work. He's like, I got the check. They sent it to work. I'm like, okay, great. Then he goes to like deposit it, and they're like, oh, it can take 7 to 10 business days. And we're like, oh, this is scary. So Opie calls and he tells them, look, I have this $9,000 check. I'm waiting for it to clear. I can send you a copy of it and show you like the proof. And then you know, like I did make some money on those videos. Okay. I did. So like, but we weren't going to get paid until the end of the month. And it was like 2 days before the date that we needed it. And it was insanity. So then this guy on customer service with the bank is like, okay, so this is what I need you to do. I need you to go and fill out this stuff online, and that's going to slow this process. This way, if it takes a little bit longer, you're not going to lose your house. So Opie does it. He goes and he fills everything out. Do you know that this month we got hit with how much money, babe?
I think it was a $3,000 fee to
Oh,
A
go out
$3,000
to sign
fee
up for
because he
that
filled that
program.
paperwork out.
What?
oh
If
my
he
God.
hadn't have filled that paperwork out, we wouldn't have to pay this $3,000.
I don't understand. What were the fees?
Neither do
It was like
I.
a program to
Yeah.
stop the foreclosure if it happened.
So,
Yeah.
Opie, you and I have talked in person pretty often, you know, just on our own, just you and I. I got to know you. I got to know you on a first search. Oh, not the first search, but I'll say the most on the abandoned property search. You and I talked about your job, how you progressed in your job, how hard of a worker you are, how well you're doing in your career at this point. And I know based on our conversations, you do not ask people for help. Like that's just not part of your personality. Did you get?
I'm helping people more than I'm asking.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
No.
Opie's the helper. Oh, and
Yeah.
and you'll never know it. You'll
And the
never
only
know how
time
much
I
he
ask
does for
people
other
back for
people.
money back, like when I let people borrow, is when I'm hard up and don't have money and broke. That's when I say, "Hey, do you have that $30, $40 you have me?" Because I'll never ask for it back. Well, I loan it to
So
somebody, either they give it back or they don't.
Did you get upset when you found out Jennifer was trying to do this for you? Were you kind of
No,
bothered?
because I mean, it's Jen, and she felt like she had to do it, and it was just making videos, So I couldn't to ask
Yeah.
somebody inorganically like and watch views, And even if she
Right.
did ask, I mean, I'm not too proud to beg. If it did come to it, I would beg and ask, But I knew in the back of my mind I had a backup plan for the that's why we ended up letting it get so far behind, because we have so many kids here. There are so many kids in and out. There's like 5 extra kids here for a whole week. My mom was always saying, "You're running a flop house." No, I'm just
Yeah.
safe
I don't know
harboring
how to
kids.
do it.
You know what I mean?
What I love about you
I-
guys too is people don't know that about you. They don't really know. Maybe some people do that. You guys have kids in that house. You're maintaining a household with several kids. Many of them are teens. I've seen the awesome teen videos you guys have done. It's really funny. You're supporting these kids. You're raising these kids. You have a household you're trying to maintain. Poor Opie tonight is trying to fix a freaking dishwasher. And you're missing your daughter. So
And I'm raising my daughter's child on top of it all.
raising your daughter's child. I don't understand why anyone would have an issue with someone, a family of like yours, going through what you're going through, simply saying, "Hey, we're in trouble. We're in trouble."
Yeah.
Anybody who can afford it, we would appreciate a little bit of help. We're going through this scenario, and it blew my mind that you guys got blowback from people. I don't understand.
Like they know anything about what you're going through.
I mean, was it a lot of people? Was it a lot of blowback? I didn't see the comments people were making. Was it bad?
I didn't feel like it was that bad, but Opie definitely took issue with it. I don't care. I've gotten to this point where I don't give a shit what you think. I don't care. If you think I'm a terrible human being for asking for help in this horrible situation that not any human being on this planet should ever have to be in, then that sounds like a you problem to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's more of a you issue. It has blown my mind from the beginning that the strange jealousy. I never wanted to be popular. I never wanted spotlight on me. That is what exhausted me. That is what put me in the bed for the last 3 months, because I'm not a spotlight I'm a wallflower. I'm a wind beneath your wings person. I will prop you up and watch you soar and be so happy about it. That's who I am. I'm not a put my face on a camera and like, I'm not this person. I had to make myself this person for Layla. And that is the only reason I would ever make myself this person, is for one of my children. It was a, end of rope. I have nothing else to lose. Let's try this situation. I loved my quiet life. I keep trying to like reiterate that people don't understand. I loved my life. I love this house. I'm sorry. I just lost light and I'm out of battery. But I love, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I loved my quiet, happy life where I was just raising all of these kids and super happy to do it. And I was thinking earlier today about that day, the day that I got that first text message from Michael. It was, it's June like 24th or something. It's the end of June. It's hot. It had been a long day. It's summer break. I have a million kids in my house, including Nova Grace, the baby. And I have my kids and I have their friends and Opie's daughter and her friends, and like it was a big party. Like, I had Trish downstairs. I had detoxed her a couple months earlier and she was sober in my basement. I had so many things. I was juggling a lot, but I was also loving all of it. My family was surrounding me and we were having fun, and my niece was sober and things were good. Other than the fact that like Layla was struggling and I knew it, like that was the only issue we were having at that moment. Our finances were a little shaky, but not terrible. Like we were making it. Like that wasn't really the end of the world. Like things were good and I felt fulfilled. And I remember I was like, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm making dinner. It's after dark, the middle of June. So I'm making dinner rather late because like I'm a gardener and I love being outside and I don't like to waste daylight. So I'm outside digging and getting dirty and playing with the kid, doing things and whatever until the sun goes down. And then I'm inside cooking. And so now it's like, getting late. Nova's like wandering around the kitchen being a little crab because now it's late and she's hungry. And, like there was so much going on. And then I heard my phone go off and I almost didn't look at it. I legitimately, and I was writing about this in my journal today. I legitimately almost did not look at it because there were so many things going on. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like I had the music going and I had food on the stove. I don't even remember what I was cooking. And I looked down at my phone. It's a message from Leila. And again, I almost didn't open it because I was like, what does she want now? Like, it was always a I need or I want, or, it was never like, hey mom. It was always something. So I was like, oh Lord. So then I opened the message and it says, do you know if Layla's in jail? And it's from Layla. So I know at that point that it's not Layla talking to me. It's got to be Michael. And I'm like, well, that don't make no sense. These two had been together for 18 months and legitimately, you literally never saw one without the other.
Yep.
There was no such thing as them separate. They were always, always, always together. The codependency was so hard with the two of them. And just the idea that she wasn't with him and he had no idea where she was concerning. But I did not know that message was going to change my life the way that it did. So I grabbed my phone, I grabbed my oldest son, I drag him to the stove, watch the food. I need to go downstairs and talk to Aunt Trish. I grab my phone, I run downstairs. Was it 10 o'clock?
I'm running. I gotta go to the dollar store to get cat food.
No.
Just log
Okay, and you
off or
still haven't
stay
done
on?
that? Okay. Whatever you want to do, babe, it's fine. So anyway, so I run downstairs, I go to Trish, who's in the bed, and I'm like, Michael just asked me if I know whether or not Layla's in jail. I'm making dinner. Can you check the jails, for me? And she, like, Trish is like, she's like a detective. She always has been. She's always been a very good information gatherer and like she knows how to like lick on different apps for different things. You know what I mean? So I was like, can you pull up all your stuff and like find out if Layla's in jail, or if she's not, find out if she's in a hospital. Like Michael doesn't know where she is, and he's not responding back to me. I don't know what happened, and I obviously was worried. So Trish got to it, and I go back upstairs to finish dinner. When I bring the dinner plate down to Trish, she's like, she's not in any jail. She hasn't been arrested. Like, there's nothing going on. She's not in any hospitals. Like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, can you call some? Because I knew that they knew a lot of the same people, being that Trish was, in active addiction up until just a couple months earlier. They were neighbors up until just a couple months earlier. So, like, I knew that there was a lot of overlap. So I was like, can you please reach out to whoever you need to and see if you can locate her, because this is concerning. Okay. Yes. So, Trish was actually the one who put all of the timeline together leading up until Monday. And then come Monday, we lost her. We lost her because she went off with somebody nobody knows. Okay? Like, and
I can't
Sunday
believe you.
morning, yeah, it's crazy. Sunday morning, Layla messaged me.
Wow.
From somebody's tablet. She was staying with a friend. She finally opens up her messenger. I can put myself in her position, right? Like, I just left my ex-boyfriend, right? I'm done. I want to be done. I'm fleeing him. I'm trying to hide from him. I can't go home to my mom's because I'm strung out and she doesn't allow me to use in her home. So I'm gonna, just grab onto whoever I can trust that is separate from the boyfriend. Meanwhile, she had kind of ditched all of her good friends and took on his when they got into the relationship, because sometimes that's what you do. And so now she's trying to like grasp at whoever she can like seek refuge with. And it's early as hell, or actually it was late that night that she first opened the messages and saw where Michael was like freaking me out.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm okay. And then when I had gone to bed at that point. So when I don't respond, she, leaves it alone. The next morning, I woke up early. I see that, and I'm like, oh my God, thank God. Well, she was awake at that point, and so she's like, Mom, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. The last thing she wanted was for me to worry about her. The last thing she wanted was for me to spin my wheels and be upset and be scared and all the things. I know her. I know that's how she felt. And she's trying to calm me down, and her last words to me were, I love you so much more.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm so grateful. I thank God for that every day.
Yeah, those were her
Because
final words.
regardless of how fucked up our relationship was, or how much we argued, or any of it, like, we did love each other. We do love each other so much.
Of course.
I didn't know you were going through that much stuff when all that was happening with Michael's text.
Yeah.
And when she was still okay. I have to point out too, Brandy just posted, and I can't imagine this scenario. Could you imagine being in the scenario where someone finally gets arrested for Layla's disappearance? There's finally people being called to face justice.
I can't imagine it yet.
Right?
I can't imagine it yet. It hasn't even come close to being a possibility. So I don't know how to even I don't know what that's going to feel like.
Brandy, I will say that we've off and on we poked in to watch the trial, bits and pieces. Unfortunately, I haven't seen all of it, but I can't even imagine what you're going through. And this is helpful, the preliminary. I was wondering where the case was with
the trial.
Yeah, those people, man. I hope, Brandy, I hope that there's justice there. We're praying for you, that something happens there, because it's just that whole situation. I just can't even imagine. And then having to go through it. Can you imagine, Jen, being called to trial for the person who's responsible for Layla? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I could go to trial. Like, I don't know. The whole
yeah,
thing is the idea of this ending and like having something that comes next is mind blowing.
I bet.
it's going to happen. These cases get solved. Most of them get solved. It's got to happen at some point. You know what I mean? It's
I hope
got to.
you're right. I know so many moms that it's been 12 years, 15 years, 20 years.
That's true.
They have
Yeah.
nothing. They have nothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna I want to focus a little bit on what we were talking about earlier with the mortgage. So
Yeah.
Jennifer and Opie have told you the situation they were in. Jennifer thought she would do something good, use her platform. By the way, Jennifer, I think people connect with your platform, and the reason you got so popular is because of what they're seeing tonight. You don't hide anything. You're very
I try
authentic.
not to.
Like
I
you're
try
open
to
about
be as honest as possible.
you're open about your past drug use. You're open about what you guys are going through now. Like you're just authentic, and I think people connect with people who are authentic, and I think that's why your platform on TikTok and elsewhere has taken off personally. But Opie did not take light with people attacking his wife.
I hope you wouldn't either.
I'm just gonna say right now, Opie, when that happened often enough, people kept attacking Jennifer. Why are you asking for help? Why are you asking for money? Blah, blah, blah. Even though she has a daughter missing and they're going through hell and they're all going to lose their home, like some people didn't care. And so they started, instead of helping, they decided to attack. And I'm going to share with you guys, I love this. When I watched this, I watched it about 5 times because I'm like, that's my kind of husband right there. That's the husband I want to be like.
Let me see.
Dude, he stood up and he said, all right, enough's enough. And I'm going to share this. I got to share this with everyone. I love it. I love it. Here we go. This is what it looks like when a husband stands up for his wife.
This video is in response to all the criticism and hate that I've been seeing on Jennifer's page. I am Opie Ward, Jennifer Santanello's partner in life. Jennifer Santanello has a missing daughter that's been missing for 2 years. Unfortunately, we do not know where she is or where she's at or what has happened to her.
I will say real quick too, getting to know Opie, we know he has a sense of humor. Even when we're searching for his missing stepdaughter, he has a sense of humor. And to see him pissed off like this is very rare. I don't think Opie does this often. And so,
No.
to see him do this, I was sitting here going, oh shit.
He's mad.
Someone did something wrong because he's very angry. So.
We've heard plenty of rumors and things the cops think they know what has happened, but there is no facts. There is no evidence to back any of this up. But with this said, she has gained a following through the last 2 years because people see a genuine, loving, caring, good-hearted person that's broken-hearted because her daughter's missing. Her missing. She is not here no more. Every year, the most hateful comments come throughout the year due to a Christmas wish list, or asked to put up, or asked by genuine, loving, caring people that want to help out and ease the burden of Christmas for this grieving mother. To me, I could care less. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing for these kids. I tell them point blank I can't afford anything for them. I'm paying the bills. But every year, Jennifer puts this list up. And every year, people get mad and upset over something that's put on the list. Oh, it's Nike. Oh, it's a microwave. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. At the end of the day, we don't want to put this list up. But we do. because there's good, kind-hearted people that want to help, that are financially able to help. But then you get these fucking assholes on here that want to run their fucking mouths because at the end of the day, it ain't them. It ain't them with the following. It ain't them that's getting gifts handed to them. We're not getting gifts handed to us because Layla's missing. We're getting gifts donated to us because they see a grieving mother and they want to make her Christmas and relieve a fucking burden off of her so she don't feel miserable. So she don't feel like a piece of shit.
You look pissed.
But every year, everybody wants to make these fucking comments, which I enjoy them. I get a kick out of you fucking assholes because it shows what kind of fucking character and what type of person you are. To the people that donate and help and do and go above and beyond for us, I'm extremely grateful for the help you give this lady. I'm extremely helpful for the gift you give, the help you give me. What I'm not grateful for is the evil fucking shit talkings. Y'all gonna hate her no matter what. My thing is, go ahead, start a mass unfollowing if you don't like her. Sorry for my language, probably edit that out. But if you don't like her that fucking much, unfollow her. Do a mass unfollow and see how well that goes. That way it can remove some of you hateful fucking assholes. Because I guarantee you she'll still have the same following she has because people love and care and see a genuine person.
Yep.
I'm not going to block you because it's engagement on her post. It's engagement. It helps the algorithm out, post her stuff out. So keep posting, keep saying whatever you want because I'm going to approve them. Approve. You talk shit, approved. You say something bad, approved. The thing is, we do more good that we don't boast about.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody donated some money to me. I paid a couple bills with the other leftover money. Did I do something for myself or the kids? No. I gave it to a couple people that's sitting and rotting in fucking jail. That ain't got nothing for Christmas, that are sitting there doing without. That's what I did with it. Do I boast it and tell over the internet? No. The only reason I'm doing it now is just to give you a broader aspect. We're not beggars or fucking moochers. I work for mine. All these years I've worked 2 or 3 jobs to get where I'm at. Unfortunately, Layla's been missing and dead and gone. Probably dead and gone. Who knows? Hope, and pray to God she's still alive. But at the end of the day, she is not here. This mother sits here every day wondering where her kid is at. What happened to her? I hope she was okay. If she did die, I hope she died instantly. And all kinds of thoughts run through her fucking mind. So when she puts this Christmas list up, it's just a damn helping appease the people that want to help us. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I gotta tell you, Opie, I'm not gonna play the rest because I think you went on for quite a while here.
Probably did.
No, I don't blame you.
But you were clearly like, I know we've seen you. You come on every search. You probably search harder than anyone else I've seen. You walk through. Yeah. You don't follow the trail. You go off trail.
You get lost, and sometimes we have to find you.
In this moment, what I felt, and the reason I watched it so many times over and over, is because, dude, I felt your emotion in this moment, where you're going through everything you're going through. And Jennifer, you know what your wife is going through, and
Yeah.
you are there working your ass off to keep this family afloat, to do everything you can to support this family. And you've got these haters who are attacking your wife in the middle of this mess that you guys are going through. And I can imagine the emotion I would feel, the anger I would feel. And everything you were expressing was just everything I would have wanted to say. I probably wouldn't let myself, but I thought it was amazing. What's your Opie? I want to know, man. We're what 23, so we're what 4? How many years now has it been, you guys?
What?
3 years.
Yeah, almost 3.
It's
It'll be
going
3 in
on.
June.
Yeah, going on 3 years.
3 years in, and not many people have heard from you, Opie. People hear from Jennifer on her TikTok, her awesome channel, where she promotes this case and keeps it in the limelight. Not many people hear from you. You know, you're kind of like the dude who's working and keeping up the foundation
Silent partner.
and keeping up the
Oh yeah,
family.
he's the rock. The rock,
You're doing
100%.
to support this and keep this going. What are you feeling right now, 3 years later? What are you feeling?
I try not to feel half the time. What keeps me from doing things, like I've never really grieved before until my aunt died, so it's hard. It was hard for me to even. It's a typical. I don't know. It's like you know how everybody always says, "Oh, I'm sorry that somebody passed away," you know, and the typical things people say. But my aunt passed away, Marlene, this year, and I actually cried and grieved and actually felt what grief and stuff feels like. Because I've always tried to numb my emotions or feelings and just party 20 years and never think about it. And like for like 2 years, you know, I never really. I know Jen would be sad and crying, but I really couldn't imagine how she feels. So it really made me super sad when my aunt died. Because now I'm thinking, dang, this is what she feels, probably 10 times over, you know. But then I had to do some chat GPT. It's my therapist that I help talk to it to help me figure out what I'm thinking and how emotions I should feel or what to do, you know. Because I don't really know too many. I know happy and sad and mad, you know. But what I'm feeling right now, I'm just trying to survive every day, just keep this family afloat, keep things going. And I'm worried about stressing bills, you know, because at the end of the day, is I know I'm supposed to be Jen's partner, and it's not my kid, so I don't really know how to, you know, in some situations, what do I do, how to comfort her. So I have to ask chat sometimes on that. But if you had to ask me right now,
the truth is, when did you meet Layla? When did you first meet Layla? How old was she?
the very actually first time, I don't think I met him then. This was years ago when I met Jen and Nug. I knew Nug for a long time. But when I got back home, I went away for about 5 years. That's when I had met Layla. She had just got picked up for doing something at high school. Her and BJ and Nug picked her up, and
You
Jen was
rode with
getting.
them.
Yeah, I
I
rode
was
with
at
them. Yeah.
school and you rode with them to go pick Layla up because Layla was acting out. She was 16 at the time and she was acting out. Yeah, we were going through a
Yeah.
lot with her at the time. And Opie had just come home from the halfway house. So
And I was visiting
like
Michael
free
Nug.
life was new for him. And he showed up to visit my boyfriend at the time, who he had been friends with since high school. And yeah, and BJ, the boy's dad, was there, and Mike was there, and Opie was like, "Yeah, I'll ride with y'all." So all 3 of them took off to go to rescue Layla from herself.
Well,
So Jennifer, when you met Opie and you guys got together, the point you got together to the point Layla disappeared, how much time had Opie been there for Layla?
Oh God. Okay, so
Quite a
Layla had
bit.
actually, yeah, she had just come home that spring from 3 months at Florence Crittenton Center, where she had broken probation and she was sentenced to go and do this like rehab for 3 months or whatever. And this is like a whole other like thing that I still wanted to talk about but haven't really gotten into, but I was told that she would end up at like a wilderness camp that would like help her, and that's not how it went down. She ended up in like a group home for foster kids, make it make sense.
weird.
And well, actually, it was no, because it was more like a jail for delinquents, but also a group home for foster kids. So they were mixing kids who had just lost their parents with delinquents. Like her roommate was there because she had lost her mom to a car accident and her dad was in Florida. So the state of Tennessee took her over as a ward and put her in a lockdown facility with a
Holy cow.
roommate who was a delinquent on charges, and the father wanted her but had to go through the state and pay a bunch of money, and it took a 9 to 12 months worth of paperwork and hearings before he could get his daughter. The state of Tennessee is infamous for stealing children for their own benefit. It's a whole other issue
Yeah,
that I
right.
have always wanted to talk about, but we won't go there today. But anyway, so Layla had just come home from all of that. Mike and I were on the brink of breaking up. Layla moved in with my mom around the corner. Mike and I were staying with a friend. I was in school. Mike wasn't working. I was the breadwinner up until I went to school. And he still wasn't the breadwinner. I mean, I was like, the little bit of money that I had coming in was all we had to live off of. Like, things were rough at the time. And I felt like Mike just didn't want to like move forward, or he had no like motives to get better or be better. And like I was newly sober, and I was ready to rock it and go to school and get a career and like uplift myself, and he just was like happy living in someone else's basement. And it just got to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. So then I move in with my mom and dad, who had an apartment attached to their new house, and I start renting that house. But I left the car behind for Mike, he has physical disabilities. What is it? Muscular dystrophy. And the older you get, the worse that gets. And so like I left the car with him. I go home and I start separating myself from him. And that's when Opie starts kind of coming around. He, he had been around all summer, and we had gone to the gym together a few times at that point. And so like after I had moved out, I get a message from him. He didn't know I had moved out. He was just like, hey, do you want to hit the gym next week? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm at my mom's. Mike and I broke up, and I'm at my mom's, and I don't have a car. I would need a ride, and da 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 da. So we start, going to the gym regularly together, just as friends. I was not looking for a whole new I was not at all, even slightly. And so then he asked, like, I was riding around with 6 children all the time. Okay. I had Layla, who was 16 at the time, going on 17. And I had, or maybe she had just turned 17. Yeah, she had just turned 17. I had Layla. I had Steven. God, how old was Steven? Steven was 13. Robbie was 13. Or no, Robbie was 12 going on 13. I had, Dylan, who is,
He's 18 now.
he's 18 now. I don't even know. Dylan was, they were all
11 or 12.
prepubescent aside from Layla. But so I literally was riding around in a green van with 6 kids everywhere I went. If I wasn't at school, I had all of these kids with me, because Trish had I moved in with my mom and dad into that little apartment with just me and the boys, and Layla was staying inside the house in her own room. Okay. And that week I had gotten sick. I had my pancreas, but not my pancreas, my gallbladder. My gallbladder was bad. I didn't know it, but I had like a gallbladder attack. And I remember I'm like recovering from the attack, and I'm laying on my futon in the living room. My mom walks into the apartment, and she's like, the caseworker just called, and we need you to go to Trisha's and retrieve the children.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, wait, what? Because she had just gotten them back like 3 months earlier, but she had also, that very same year is the year that Trish was paralyzed. So,
Yeah.
and then she was able to use the paralysis in court to get the kids back, to kind of like, her lawyer was like, are you going to deny her kids because she's, she can't walk? Like basically like turned it to the like, and so like Judge Tui was like, fine, she can have a 3-month trial period. Well, she didn't pass. She couldn't get off whatever she was on. And every time she showed up to court, she was dirty. Like, and so like 3 months go by, and finally they're like, ma'am, no, the kids have to go back to their grandmother. So, but they wanted me to like broker the deal. Okay. So I'm like, and I'm just recovering from this gallbladder attack that I didn't know I had. It was awful. And I have to go, and I have to tell my nephews and my niece that I have to take them away from their mom. Like, it was awful. It was horrible. And I showed up, I brought the kids home. I felt terrible at that point. Like, DCS bought us bunk beds. Because, like, originally I was going to sleep on the futon in the living room. The boys were going to take the bedroom. We had a little kitchen and a bathroom with a shower. And that was going to be our place until I graduated. And then we had all these extra kids come in. So Gabby went and moved into Layla's room inside the house. And we put 2 bunk beds next to each other in the living room. And I moved into the bedroom. And I had 4 boys in my living room. Opie started dating me then. I had 4 boys in bunk beds in the living room of my apartment. Everywhere I go, I have 6 kids with me. Like,
So Opie, you meet this woman. She's got all these kids running around all around her. What were you thinking? What was your thought?
It's pure chaos.
he liked the chaos, but because it was healthy chaos.
Well, it's healthy chaos, and I've always dealt with chaos with the dealings I was dealing with prior to going away. So, I seen that she cared and loved her kids, and I like kids, and I had mine that I just was trying to rebuild a relationship with, and just awkward. And she was 13,
Yeah.
I'm just getting home after 5-6 years and trying to find things to do, and instead of the weird talk of how was school and stuff, and take her places to go figure
And
out and
so
learn about her.
he was asking me on every other Saturday. I get Caden for the whole day, and it's always very awkward. And like, what do you take your kids to do? And so like, I started inviting him to come do things with us. Like, we went to Doe River Gorge one weekend, and like, we would just come up with different things that I would do with my kids on the weekends to keep them occupied. I would invite him and Caden so that there was like a kind of like a buffer where they could be together, but there was also like other people around, so it wasn't weird and awkward. Because I can't imagine a father and daughter trying to reconnect at that age. Like, that's such a strange age for girls. And so like, I felt for him, and all he wanted was his relationship with her back, and I could see that so clearly. And it was hard. It's still hard. She's 20 now, and it's not fully repaired. And I don't know when it will be. But
Did you guys get close, Opie? You and Layla, the time you had with her, did you guys get close?
Yeah, I had got her first job, took her to work, picked her up plenty of times. Went to her graduation, had her stay here with the baby, and helped her with Nova. They were staying here for at least a month or so, her and Cody. Yeah, I got pretty close with Layla. We talked quite a bit on the porch sometimes. She would try to tell me things about life and stuff, and you don't need to be with my mom. She's doing this and this. She tried to tell on her and stuff. But I seen true love when one day I thought Jen ghosted me when we first started dating. We had a good day out or something, and I sent her flowers that day. I never got. I was always left on red, and I was like, "What the heck?" I started thinking, "What did I do?" For hours upon hours, I was like, "What's going on?" This has been hours upon hours of talking and talking and talking on phone. And then just automatic ghost mode. And I'm like, well, heck. So then I go by there, and this is when I realized Jen has had these issues and still does, but not near as bad. It ain't quite. It's happened a couple of times here recently, but I made her have surgery on that one. After I seen what happened and Layla was cleaning up feces and just throw up and
yeah, I was
the love.
I was having
I was
these.
admired by the love of Layla. No matter when they fought or argued or you know what I mean? I could see the love she had for her mother, to get on there and clean up after her and, just to be there for you. And it just, I could see the love basically. Kind of broke my heart in a way. After seeing it now, thinking about it, because I'm like, dang, I couldn't do that. But here I was having to do it last year, and I'm like, golly, this is what this girl's young daughter and her daughters had to put up with for the longest time.
Well, okay, be fair. I've had GI tract issues my entire life. I'm slit from sternum to belly button because of the issues. I've had multiple surgeries. I had my gallbladder out the year Opie and I started dating. And so Layla had gotten used to like my attacks. Prior to the gallbladder, I would have these episodes that were more what is it? What is it called? My brain doesn't work anymore.
You stopped up or something?
No, I would have like I have oh
Kid-
no, not
kidney-
kidney. It's like your guts, like your
Gastral. I don't
like
know, but me
when
and
your
Layla
guts are
was
in
pretty close.
distress, your guts are in
Oh,
distress, and
okay,
yeah. Okay, so that. And like I would
yeah.
have these episodes that would last 24 to 48 hours, which is why it took me so long to realize the gallbladder had gone, because this was
Oh,
kind of like par for the course, especially during stressful situations.
Of
And
course.
like, and I still do a couple times a year. I have episodes, and Layla had grown up like, you know, my boys have grown up seeing me sick like that, and like every time with them, if I get sick like that, they call their dad, because he's again a paramedic, a health professional, and he tells them what to do, and like bring mom water, make sure she's hydrated, like stuff like that, because all of my kids love me. They're my kids, and I love them, and I take care of them, and whatever. And they all want to help when I'm, you know, on the damn bathroom floor, like completely unable to move. But Layla was old enough at that point that like she would come in and she would make sure I was okay, and she would bring me medication, and you know, just yeah, you know, like again,
Playing nurse, pretty much.
yeah.
yeah.
I think
But
what I
we
was
did
trying to
get
get
close,
at.
and it's like what I told them when I come on the scene. I said, "Look," because I know what kids look at as guys when they see someone dating their mom. They think, "Oh,
Yeah.
here's somebody dating their mom." You know, I'm just the guy with the you know, screwing the mom right now. You know, because not this instance, but you know how the relationships go. Teenagers see this person, oh, mom's dating another guy. So, you know, Jen's only been with like 12 people in the last few years, 7-year relationships. So ours is probably hitting that 7-year mark right now anyway. But anyway, uh, as I told them kids, look, I'm not here to be your dad. I'm not here to be your stepdad. You know, of course, in any relationship, when a guy comes into a woman with kids, you got to respect the kids and be
Mhm.
nice to them, you know. So that's kind of what it was, and then the relationship builds from there. You know what I mean? But
Right.
The thing
because I
that
know
hit
And
me
they
about,
had a stepdad. BJ is Layla's stepdad, and Michael Nug is another stepdad. You know, they was the
yeah,
ones that was in
he's
Layla's
and
life,
they're both still very much a
active
part of the
and
kids' lives. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, that's the
You
thing that hit me
know.
about you. When we were searching the abandoned property, we were walking up the hill in the back, and I don't know if you remember, but you were telling me, and you've said this several times. You're like, I cared for Layla. I'm gonna search until I can't search anymore for this girl. And it was clear to me when you said that you cared about her just as much as if she was your own daughter. That was clear. And you don't even have to say that. We see you how hard you search. But you also wanted to make it clear to us. The words you said to me were, she's not my daughter. She's not my daughter. And her father, I know he would be here if he could be here. And you're very respectful. It blows my mind because I know what you guys have been through, and I know the shit that's been said about you, but you are always extremely respectful about the fact that her natural father is someone else, even though it's clear to me, based on how hard you search and how hard you try, that you love her.
Yes,
And so
yes,
that's
yes.
why I'm trying to get you don't express it all the time how
No.
much you love her, how close you were to Layla, but I got that sense, like I totally felt how much you love this girl, and that's what I'm trying to get at.
Because you eventually, you know, you build connections with all the kids, you know, and then I do love all the kids, and I did love Layla, and I still do love Layla, you know, I don't want to say did, you know, past tense, but there was love there, you know, because I seen a teenager just trying to get her through all life and help her out the best I could, and, you know, mainly there for Jen and all the kids.
Mhm.
It's clear to us, it's clear to Jen and I, like even listening to you guys talk back and forth, that you guys are very much in love.
Yes. We like to see that.
It's very obvious, like it's very obvious you guys are very much in love. And I'm sorry for the struggles you've had to go through with the mortgage, with obviously dealing with this whole scenario for the past 3 years. But the strength you guys show is an example, in my opinion, of what a strong relationship can do and can survive through. And even I think what really shows that is the fact that Jennifer has reached out, is getting help, is getting better, and is seeking the help that she needs. And I have no doubt in my mind, Opie, that you had some small say in suggesting that she do that. Am I right?
Yeah, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And she knows
Yep.
that. She knows she needs help. You know, that's the only way to get. She really is on more about therapy than I am. You know, I never really believed in that. Well, not really
I
say
mean,
believed in that stuff, but she knows she
your
she needs
therapist,
therapy.
I mean,
Chat
your
GPT.
therapist is Chat GPT, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you know, try to help
But
deal
you
with emotions and stuff. Yes, because she's not going to get better, and she needs to help with anything that can help and aid her in this, because it's ambiguous loss and ambiguous grief that's always going to continue until we get closure, until we get answers, till something comes up.
Yep. Yep, I agree. Where are we going from here, you guys? Do we have, I know we have that road, the rest of the road we're going through. Jennifer, has there been progress in this case? Has there been new updates, anything at all?
Nothing. Not lately. You
Okay.
know, we did have a possible something, and then it didn't turn out to be exactly what we thought it was, and we had hoped to get some probable cause through this last lead, and there just wasn't enough information. There just wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that was very, very disappointing. You know, Detective Claire just got back from like forensic training, so now he's like a forensic specialist on top of being a detective, so that's a plus. Our TBI guy, Ketrin, he was promoted, and I'm a little scared. I cried. I won't lie. I cried the day he told me he was promoted and he had to give up the case. I bawled my eyes out because Ketrin has been very good to us.
Yeah.
I mean, he sat and talked to me today for an hour about shit that had nothing to do with Layla. You know what I mean? Like, he's been a rock outside of the parameters of the home front, and right now he's technically still assigned to the case because it hasn't been officially handed over to anyone new yet, but I don't know that I'm gonna have that with whoever comes in, and I'm a little scared.
Well,
But
it speaks highly about TBI that Ketrin represented TBI in that way with you, right?
oh yeah. Yeah, he's been really wonderful. He deserved the promotion 110%.
Yeah.
You know, he's a great human, and I wish him well, and I'm glad that he's been here for us for as long as he has. But we were talking today, and there haven't even been even any new anything, no, not even like bullshit tips. You know what I mean? Like the kinds that you like roll your eyes but have to go check out anyway. Like there haven't even been any of that in the last few weeks. And he's like, normally I get at least a lead a week, and these past few weeks has just been nothing. And he's got again other stuff going on that is kicking his butt, but that is what it is I don't even know what, I guess as a TBI agent, when you get promoted, you are now over multiple agents and multiple cases, and I can't imagine how daunting. He's a young man with young kids and like a family at home, and I'm just like, I don't even know how you do it. Like that's crazy. But yeah, there's
Obviously,
nothing really to go on right now, and I it's so exhausting and tiring and upsetting, and ugh.
Detective Claire, is he pretty helpful with you?
Usually, yes. He also has his own personal stuff too, though. I won't talk about it on here. It's his business, his stories to tell, but he's going through his own shit too. And you know, again, he did go off and do that training that took several weeks to get the forensics. So now when he hits a
Right.
scene, he can see things differently in different perspectives than he used to, which is awesome. But you know, there's just we're all just human, and we're all just trying to do the best that we can.
Yeah.
Whether you're a law enforcement agent or a grieving mother or, you know, a YouTuber just trying to help. Like, we're all
Yeah.
just human. We all have shit. And life is rough. Life just lifes on you, doesn't it?
It does.
I will say that it speaks highly of both TBI and Kingsport PD that they have had agents and detectives who have supported Jennifer at least up to this point, following up on leads. I mean, we'll set aside
Oh
the
yeah.
abandoned property that we had to force them to,
Yeah, that was a little bit of a fluke, but yeah.
they're supporting it. They're following up on this case, and I'm just going to say to you two, both of you, if anything does come up at any time, obviously, just let us know, and we'll be there to help you guys.
Of course.
We do have a new. I think I told you guys we have a new resource now. There's I can't mention his name. I can't even mention who he is or his past experience, but he was involved in some high-profile cases around here. He has near-infrared drones. He has very advanced technology. So as time goes on, we're getting more resources, and we can
awesome
with every single search. So Jen and I love you guys.
We love you.
We do.
Oh, we love you too.
You guys are awesome.
You guys are great.
We love your relationship. Just stay strong, and I know you're. Hopefully, this whole mortgage thing is behind you, and all the crap.
Like we said, we just got hit with an extra $3,000 for no good goddamn reason. That's gonna be fun to figure out, but we'll get there.
Gosh.
What's the bank that screwed you guys over? Let's like slam them.
It's not even really it's the government, man. We got our house on a USDA loan. And we're very fortunate. I'm very grateful, okay? Because when we first it was 2020. It's COVID summer, right? And when I started, now I know that he's got a crazy good credit score and he's been working since he got out, right?
Yeah.
And he's wanting to rent an apartment, and I'm like, do you see how many kids I have, bro? You know, like, do you think these other three are not going to be like, just follow me? Like, just because my mom has custody doesn't mean the other three aren't going to show up. Come on. Like, which is what it is. And I was like, we're so much better off buying something, right? So I started looking at the cheapest of the cheapest homes. As the first house I brought him to was this adorable little bungalow on the side of a mountain. The yard was beautiful. It like went up the mountain, but it was gorgeous and had all these pretty trees, and like I could visualize like this huge garden out back, and like the inside was very, very small, but it was split up into 4 bedrooms, a small kitchen, a living room, like, and they had just reduced the price to like $60,000.
What?
And I was like, we could do this. You know, I remember I pulled up and there was a rainbow. Do you remember, baby, when I showed you that house and I was like, it's small, but it's got 4 bedrooms and it's only $60,000. Like, we could do that. So then he started calling realtors. He gets a hold of somebody. They ran like a preliminary check, and they were like, oh, they granted him like $110,000 to start looking with, right? Well, then he had been going to preschool with a guy named Michael. What's his last name, baby?
Walker.
Michael Walker. And Michael Walker caught wind that Opie was looking to buy a home. And Michael Walker has a realty empire now. And Walker took Opie to lunch and said, okay, about $100,000, that's great. He said, but what if I told you I could get you into a place double that for less money monthly? And Opie was like, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, if you use the USDA rural development loan, it means that you would have to live outside the city in a rural area, but they're trying to move more median income people into these areas. That's the whole goal. And so they're offering more, a bigger loan with a subsidy for the mortgage and da 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 da. And so we start looking, and it was hard because with the USDA loan, it's a 90-day close instead of 30. So it took us months on months on months on months to finally find this place and get an agreement from the people. The people that lived here were having their own home built elsewhere and they had time. And so they were like, yeah, absolutely. The 90-day close is fine. We'll do
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Like it just all kind of fell into place. And, the mortgage is only $1,000 a month. If we didn't have so many children and we didn't have so many obligations and we didn't have a missing child, we would be fine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Plus,
Like,
I was
and it's
working
not,
2 jobs to get there, and now I'm not
yeah.
working 2 jobs, but I'm
Well, there's
going back to working 2 jobs because
Right.
It's
there,
getting
there
really,
should
really
be
hard.
there should have been a real estate discount for anyone who has a missing child out there.
I know.
In my,
I know.
you know what I mean? Thank you, by the way, and thank you, Emily, for that super sticker. Appreciate that so
and
much.
this was before the housing market went crazy
Like
too.
inflated. Yeah. Like things were
Oh yeah,
actually
so
very
do I.
unstable and people were scared that like housing, would go down and like so we got very, very lucky in the way that we got this place and what we have to pay for it. And it's a
Right.
I love this house. I never saw myself in a split level. I never wanted a split level, but like now that we're here, it's enough space for everybody and we're all comfortable and everyone's happy and it's beautiful. And I've been working on this damn yard for 5 years and you know what I mean? Like I'm making it mine and I'm very happy
How
to be
many?
here. I wake up every day and the first thing I do is thank God for my home every day. Every day I thank God that we have this roof over our head. And then I thank God for Opie who continues to maintain it.
And fix the
Fix the
dishwasher.
dishwasher. That's right. For the
Yes, but
15th
also
time.
keep it over our head. Like without him, we would have lost it a long time ago. Like he has been our rock. He has been I don't know that I would have survived without him. I don't know that I would probably be like in a facility somewhere if not for him. That's the
Well, I mean
truth.
that's obvious. It's so obvious just watching you guys. I mean, we've seen you guys in person and we know that I'll tell you guys, everyone out there watching this tonight, what you see on camera is what's on person. It's what's in person. Like the Jennifer, the Opie that you
They
see.
wear their hearts on their sleeves.
They're just who they are. They're authentic. They're just going to tell you flat out straight how it is. You could see in the video that Opie made. I mean, he doesn't hide anything. He doesn't tell you any bullshit. He just tells you like it is. And it's true with Jennifer. And a lot of people over the years have attacked Jennifer because I do think it's jealousy. I think Opie's right. I think they're jealous. I think they're just like, oh, she now has a big flat platform and she only has a platform because she has a missing child. How terrible is it to say that?
People suck.
I
Like how
know.
horrible
Yeah.
is it to say that? And she didn't even want the platform. She did it because
No.
she needed to.
Right.
To get her daughter's name out there. So I hope the platform eventually turns up answers in one
Oh
way or
yeah.
another. There are people
I hope
reaching out.
all of this work comes up with something.
Well, she keeps Layla's
Because
name alive and keeps it in people's eyes and keeps it relevant, because so many missing people's cases get forgotten about.
Yeah.
They get forgotten.
that's
And that's
true.
the thing we can't allow to happen.
Right.
I mean, it has
No.
to be on the Sierra's back. Hey, Sierra.
hey, you made
Hey.
it.
Sorry, I was having issues over here.
Where did Jess go?
Buddy is not feeling too good tonight. I guess he's been getting sick, so she had to run.
Oh man, I'll pray for
I
him.
love you. I'm a feed princess. I'll stay on the live though.
Sierra, I know that you're the digger. I call you the digger.
Yeah.
Like you know people, you talk to people who a lot of us wouldn't even talk to in the community. You've got connections and you follow up with everything. Do you think that we have anything new? Is there anything new coming up at all? You don't have to be specific, but like Are there
Not
going to
really
be some?
new. No,
Really?
unfortunately. I wish there was more new stuff coming in. I mean, there's some things here and there, but not like groundbreaking, you know?
Yeah.
We've got areas that we want to get done and stuff like
Yeah.
that and start searching, but like other than that, no big lead that I've heard,
No
unfortunately.
lead.
Okay.
Man.
Well, let's stop this on a good note.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We want to. Yeah.
What's the matter?
Think. We're probably going to close out. We do have a search. I think a search area, right, Sierra? At least one that we can follow up on next week.
Yeah, that's what
We want.
I was.
I'm off next weekend, so that works out.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to Jessica about today too, and I'd like to try and get out there when Opie's on his weekends that he's got off and do that area that we talked about.
Yeah.
And especially with that help that you said, we definitely got to take that up.
Yeah.
We'll be down for
Absolutely, that
coffee.
excites me.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. We are gone for a couple weeks after June, the first week of June. We can get that guy, I think almost any weekend he's willing to help out. And what's amazing about his technology is it's he can detect even old graves or old burial sites. Yeah, that change of vegetation, he can detect it. And I think I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, you know what we've been through and what we're trying to do. We're getting our dog trained. We have like visual drone technology, and that's it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
this takes
So
it to
he's
the next.
got, you're telling me that he's got the stuff that like Crabtree has. Like he has like the AI stuff where you run that. It basically, so one of the first searches of like the Greenbelt, the TBI had just gotten this AI technology for their drones where they map the whole area with the drones and then they run all of that through this AI program. And the program is able to tell old graves and different, like any anomalies on the land whatsoever, it could detect. And it actually, I believe it found 2 different sets of dead deer bones.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like they had hits, like 2 different anomalies along the Greenbelt. And they went out to these places and dug it up and it was deer bones. Okay. But like at least we know it works, right? Like at least we know that
Well,
when we use it, it's going to show us something.
This guy did searching with he's done searching with EquiSearch. That's the level he's
That's
at.
awesome.
He's a professional drone guy, and the thing is, he did tell me there's software he uses that can do 2 things. The first thing he can do is if you know the color of clothing that the person was, if you're accurate, like get a actual, this was what they were last wearing, it can identify every single color in the landscape. It takes picture after picture after picture and it puts it all together. And the software will analyze it and tell you every single spot where that color was seen. That's the first thing. And the second thing, second thing it can do is either it does grave detection, either recent, so like disturbed earth where there's like vegetation and then nothing, or it can tell you where there's overgrowth, which is huge because that's several years, right?
Yeah.
So, which is basically grave detection.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I did tell Jen and Opie. Well, I think I mentioned it to you too. That I had found an older gentleman that does that. He has like a ground scanner. It's not a drone. It's a big old thing. I don't know how to describe it. It kind of looks like a cart that he pushes, and it's like an old grave finder.
Ground penetrating radar.
Yeah. And he was talking, he's right across the Kentucky line and was talking about coming out. But I told him I'd rather him come out when we have set markers,
Yeah, ideally,
Yeah.
Sierra, ideally is if this drone guy detects a potential grave site, then you want to take that guy and actually run over the area to see if there's voids and stuff. Ground penetrating radar is amazing. It's expensive though. Like one of those units is I think $18,000.
Wow.
Yeah,
And you
I've
have
been
to-
looking for something like that for a minute, and then I just seen him on a video on Facebook looking up somebody's, like, I guess it was somebody in the family. Their little one had passed, and they were trying to scan where they had buried it at. And I mean, that was like 100 years old. And he looked
Wow.
at this plot of land and he found it, and it was like that's
Wow.
as soon as I seen it, I had to reach out. It was the first time I'd actually seen that. So
Wow.
I'll be honest, I've always been so glad that Sierra's on the search. Sierra's kind of, I would call her kind of leading the search team in a way, because she has, number one, she has insights into, like I said, people in the community that most people wouldn't talk to. Sierra doesn't give a shit. Like, she'll talk to
No.
anybody.
Yep.
That's number one. And number two, it's like you don't deal with bullshit. Like when people send in tips
Right.
that are just BS, you're like, yeah, whatever. That's bullshit. And so we feel like we can run.
Well, yeah,
stuff.
she's got like a good bullshit like radar.
I do. Unfortunately, I have a very big BS radar. But I will say, even when they are, or even when my radar does go off, like me and Jess both always go and try to still check. Like we always run through so that box can be checked regardless. You know, we've chased down horse poop and some more stuff throughout our days.
Yeah.
And we do it just because of the simple fact that we want to make sure that that's clarity that we got, you know, we got clarity in that
Yeah.
spot. We can move on because it's a lot of ground to search and
Oh,
cover.
yeah. But
Yeah,
another
Sarah and Jess
thing
have been a
that I
great
want
help.
to credit Sierra with is that she does a great job of keeping the bullshit away from me.
Yeah, I
You
know.
do an amazing job
I
at
try.
like filtering through it and hitting me with like the real shit rather than like making me worry about the nonsense.
Well, I can only imagine that would drive anybody crazy hearing constant hoopla,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
especially when you're in like a mental torture already. You know what I mean? That's just
Yeah.
constant stuff. You
I
know,
had to respond. I don't know if you saw, but I recently had to respond to something on Facebook where people were bitching and moaning in the group about how like they didn't feel like I took this one tip seriously enough and da 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 da. And it was like that woman that had said that she thought she saw Layla in the flesh somewhere in Virginia
oh, the
like
hotel.
8 months ago or
I
and it's like
remember.
but like
Yeah.
you're hitting us so much like way too late. That hotel doesn't have any footage anymore. Like she ain't there no more. Like I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, and law enforcement isn't taking it seriously either. Well, honey, just because they're not calling you back and telling you what happened doesn't
Yeah.
mean that they didn't go out and check it out. Like
Mm.
they don't owe you anything. They're not going to tell you what they found or didn't find. Like you call in a tip, you're doing it as a good Samaritan. You're not supposed to be doing it waiting for a response or like
Yeah.
utilizing it to talk about it on Facebook or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. People's motives kind of drive me crazy. Like because it's like, are you calling this in because you care and you believe that you actually saw her, or are you calling this in because you want the recognition?
Mm-hmm.
I know that I want to accuse anyone of anything, but like it's very hard to discern who's in it for what.
Right.
And now
Well, that's
you're on a grieving mother's platform complaining that she's not taking you seriously enough.
That's
I-
that's the thing though. So Jennifer, when you have a platform and you're putting it out there, you know, you're looking for any information on your daughter, you get a lot of shit. And one of the most common scenarios we hear from, I mean, not you shared a lot of the BS. You guys talked about I still can't get over the dog guy the dog guy that got down on the ground.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
I don't
Yeah.
want.
That's the greatest. That's just the
That
greatest.
was traumatic.
Yeah.
Right? But like those scenarios, every single missing person's family, parents that we talk to, they get contacted by people like that. And
Yeah.
I can't imagine when I heard, Jennifer, how much money you spent on scam artists, people who have scammed
know.
you, it makes me sick to my stomach. Because you know they do that to other people too.
I know.
Well,
Which
my
is
thing
why
is,
I had to out him.
Yeah.
well, my thing is too, though, like what you were saying a minute ago about the Virginia or out of state leads or things like that nature. I feel like anything that's out of state that's not in a certain radius should automatic. Well, any tip should be called straight in. Period. Any tip.
Yeah,
Everything
call
But
it
should be
in.
called into
especially
law
if you're,
enforcement before you reach out to me. Call it
yeah,
into law
absolutely.
enforcement first, and then reach out to me.
And then on top of it, it's like, you know, Jen's had to spend a lot of money going out of states to check certain areas where there has been sightings. She has left state multiple times to do that.
Wow.
But you can't go to every state every time
I
someone
can't.
has a sighting.
We'd
You
be
know,
living
it's
in a
just,
cardboard box. We can't
Yeah.
afford that.
you know,
See,
people got to understand that. And that's where it kind of gets misconstrued because it's like, well, if you feel like you've seen them in your area or your state, call your law enforcement and call TBI.
That's
I
it.
mean,
That's exactly it.
I hope that in the future, Jennifer, I really hope that you and Brandy get a chance to meet at maybe like a crime con in the future. If there's ever one near us or anything that's possible to get to, because she's confirming it too. I knew Brandy probably faces the same shit, and
Yeah.
people will send you something, they'll send you information, and they're like, they feel entitled. Like it
Oh
needs to be
yeah.
followed up because it's the most important thing, right?
Well, and basically, it's like because I have a platform, and because I'm here discussing her case, and because I'm here doing all the things I'm doing, then people feel like I'm here for their entertainment.
Yeah.
And I called in a tip. Aren't you going to go check it out? And aren't you going to post about it? And aren't you going to? And it's like, I am not here to entertain you or anyone else. That's not the point. You're missing the entire point. Like, and we as American people have turned true crime into a whole ass genre when it's people's real fucking lives. It's
Yeah.
people's actual nightmares. And I hate now, like, I used to be so into it, right? Not like a super fan, not like I would have never gone to Crime Con had this not happened to me. I was not like a super fan, but I was always like interested. And so, like, even when when Layla went missing, I was cleaning at Opie's plant, and I would listen to true crime podcasts to pass the time while I was like cleaning and stuff.
Yeah.
And after it was like, I couldn't even listen to that shit anymore because it occurred to me that these are people's real fucking lives. And a lot of times the killer or the bad guys or whatever drown out the victims.
Yeah.
You don't remember the victims' names because Joe Schmo, attacked 20 of them, and the victims aren't getting any recognition whatsoever. Just Joe Schmo, and it makes me sick.
it's bad because you see all the people that are like in prison now that are like the bad guys that's done the crimes, and here they are having their whole thing paid for and getting letters like they're, getting fan mail, and they're just good. Their books is full, the whole
It's so
shebang.
gross.
But the people that's dealing with it are the families. They're
Right. The
suffering,
families, the
struggling.
victims of that person are struggling, maybe have been kicked out of their home, maybe, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's the kind of vibe I got from
can't.
CrimeCon. I didn't really like being there, but I know we had to be there
No,
to
it
get
was so
people to.
commercialized, ma'am.
Yeah, we was there to get people to get on Layla's case and promote it. It's one of the main reasons we was there. I wasn't there to watch crime stuff because I don't want to. I never got into this and doing that stuff and worrying about how the person died or what happened to the killer type thing. It was like entertainment and stuff. And then, like she said, I didn't
That
really
is
like it.
that is it, Opie. I mean, it's entertainment, and Jen and I, we started with the Summer Wells case, and then obviously we started expanding to other local cases. We fell in love with you guys, and we're obsessed with Layla's case. But as a creator, there's a very fine line, and we've started getting to the point where we've met people locally who hate YouTubers, hate with a
Yeah.
passion, because they do exactly what you're saying. They will take
Yeah.
a very real suffering of a local family like yourself,
Yes.
or like Brandy, or anyone else, Leslie in
Yeah.
our case, and they turn it into entertainment. And there's a very fine line between doing your thing, searching for a missing person, and you have to ask yourself, why am I publishing it? And Jennifer,
Right.
you said this best, Jennifer. At one point, the reason that you started your channel was to raise awareness in a respectful way. You have to be respectful about it, the way you raise awareness. And you
Yeah.
you said it at one point. I can't remember. I think it might have been to Layla's natural father in response to him attacking at one point. And you said, look, creators, I mean, you're a creator,
Yeah.
we're a creator, and creators choose the way that they try to promote these cases. But it all comes down to your motivation. Are you doing it, like Opie says, just for clicks and views, just to get your own platform out there, or are you doing it to get the missing person's family that you're working with? Is it truly to get their case out there and to find answers? And it's hard to tell the difference between creators who are doing one or the other.
Yes. And I
You
think
know?
that's why I've always preferred TikTok, because the videos are shorter and it's so much easier to pick out the motive, right? There's a handful of TikTokers that are legitimately there just to spread awareness, that are well and truly just wanting to share the facts, get somebody's story out there, and you know what I mean? Like, they're not necessarily trying to make a bunch of money. They're not necessarily there to, like, fan flames or whatever. Like, with YouTube, it's a little bit different because the way that YouTube works, there has to be more drama and more this and more that, and like whatever. But with TikTok, the videos can only be 10 minutes long, and you can tell the bullshitters from the people who are genuine pretty quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is
Which I
why I
can
kind of
vouch.
stuck.
Ryan and Jen are true, and I can vouch for them. They're not out here to just do this. They are actually helpful, very helpful. I thank you
No,
guys. Thank you,
thank you.
Sarah. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Ryan.
That means a lot coming from
Definitely.
you guys, because it's hard. It's really hard. There's a certain amount of guilt you feel as well as a creator, because you know that you are getting clicks and views. Like
Yeah.
you are. Every video you put out, you're getting clicks and views. And it's like you have to make sure that you keep your mission on point. You have to do every choice you make with every video. You've got to do it with the family in mind and respectful toward the family. And it's I'll tell you that our mentor we started with, this woman is amazing. She searched for indigenous women in New Mexico, and she told us flat out, she goes, you guys are doing really well right now. You're focused on the right things. Be very careful when your channel grows, because money changes people. When you start getting larger, you have to be careful that the money doesn't become more important than helping the families.
That's
And
it.
so
That's
Yeah, we've
100%
talked about
it.
that. We've
that's the
talked about
key.
that a lot.
Yep.
Because I never really knew about creator stuff until all this stuff happened, and watching Jen and what she's dealt with, and then just being admins and moderators and stuff like that. I've seen and learned a lot, and it's, you can see the people that are genuine that don't let it get to their head, and then you see the people that let it get to their head.
Yeah.
Like everybody that's not a creator is beneath them or something, and it's very ugly. It's very ugly. honestly.
Oh yeah,
it
it can be.
it can be extremely ugly. There's a lot of drama. And Jennifer, I know that you've seen the drama. You still get it. Even someone who is a mother of a missing child who starts a platform can be attacked
Oh
for
yeah.
being a creator. Like, that's insane
I've
to
been
me.
attacked since day one. Let's just be real about it. There were people that hated me prior to this that I did not know were hating on me because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't care. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not here to make people love me. I'm here to make people love Layla. I'm not here to make people love me. You know what I mean? Like, and so there were people that didn't like me previous to this for their own personal reasons and whatever. Like, if they think I'm whatever, then that's all that, whatever. Like, that's their perspective. That's their opinion. Great. But as soon as I gained any kind of like, attention,
Yeah.
it was game on.
Yeah.
Game on. We're going to take this bitch down regardless of what she's going through. I can't stand that I've been trying to become a creator for however long and she just loses a kid and all of a sudden she's a superstar. No, that's not fair. You know what I mean? Like, and to see that in real life, it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane.
Mhm.
It's insane that they would not only go after people who are regular creators, but a mother.
They lose their humanity and they see it just as like entertainment. They don't.
Yeah.
And it's
see it as real life.
yeah, and it's jealousy. It's
Yeah.
really jealousy. It's insane.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Jennifer, I see you don't stop. Like, you are putting out posts, you're continuing to raise awareness for your daughter's case, regardless of the hate and the drama and the bullshit you guys have been through, and even through the suffering period, even when you guys were going through financial hardship, dealing with all the shit you've had to deal with, you're constantly putting out posts for your daughter, and to me that says a lot. That says a lot.
I love the fact that no matter what, Jen don't feed into stuff. Like, we went through a lot of different battles throughout this time. I know she knows, and she's always chose the high road. You know, she's always chose not to battle back. I mean, honestly, if people wanted to see it as a creator thing, there's a lot of things that she could have used to really actually fuel herself or fuel her pockets if that was her, if she the way she wanted to go. But that was not her intent. Her whole intent was to, you know, do right by Layla, put her out there and continue the fight. But, you know,
and one thing I know for 100% sure is those assholes would have never scared Layla off. And so I draw on her
There you go.
for the strength. When it gets really bad, I know that she would not care. That she would not give a shit. Now, here's the thing, though, is that I don't do what she would do because she would battle back. Okay? She would. She would go right back at these assholes. I know she would because she doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like, she legitimately does not give a shit who hates her, who doesn't. Like, she never gave a shit. She's never had a filter. She's always just been able, like, I've always admired that part of her that is just, I'm me and I don't care how you feel about it. And she like literally never had a filter to the point where, like, I'm a mom and I was like hearing things that a mom should never hear.
Yeah.
I don't want it, baby. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about that. Wait, what?
One of our daughters is like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Layla was loud and proud, that's for sure. She did not hide her
Nothing.
character whatsoever.
No. And yeah. Damned if you didn't like it. Damned if you didn't like it. She did not care.
You're right. She would have ripped apart. She would have ripped up a lot of these people.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I would hope so.
There were so many times when, like, I was really going through it where I was really taking people very, very seriously and taking the insults seriously, and I would think about her. and I would just break down in tears because I knew how she would react, and I knew what she would like. First of all, her first priority would be to defend me. She is the only person in the world allowed to talk shit about me. But it's true. She can talk shit, but you can't. Don't you dare.
I remember, I mean, even when she was young, like she was that way though.
Yes.
Like I'm talking like young. She did that. Like there was no
Don't you dare talk about my mama like that. I can't.
Yeah,
You
can hear her
cannot.
like walk off bitching about something, being mad, and then turn around and be like, turn around and also bully
And somebody might
somebody
be
that
making a
agrees.
comment
Like
like,
if
"Oh, your mom's
somebody
an
agrees,
asshole."
it was almost like a trap for like, so you agreed with me that my mom's this? Okay, game time. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yes. Oh,
it was funny
God.
though. She's feisty. She's a feisty
She's
one.
so feisty. Oh my God. I miss it. I miss the feistiness. I miss the arguments. It's so strange the things that you miss.
Yeah.
Like,
Jennifer, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't even that to me, we have 2 daughters, and that would be what you're expressing would be me. Like I would be like you miss every single aspect of the personality, right? Even the fights.
oh
Even
yeah.
the-
I say it all the time. We had this one really brutal fight in the car one day. It was after Nova was born, and Layla had been working overtime. It was like Layla was all in on motherhood, and like I was so proud of her. And so like when it came to breastfeeding, she didn't like to physically nurse, which kind of threw me because that was always my favorite part of it because it's such a bonding experience. But it was painful for her and she didn't want to do it, but she didn't want Nova to go without either. So she pumped. And I remember those pumps, and those pumps hurt. I felt like the pumps hurt way worse than nursing did. That was just me. And even with Layla was like, Layla killed me with the nursing. She was strong. And that like it was so awful. It was my first baby, like the things were very sensitive, and like she kicked my ass, but I stuck to it. Well, with Nova apparently was just as strong, and it was very painful for Layla, so she chose to pump instead, and she pumped for 6 weeks straight. She pumped every hour and a half to make sure that Nova had enough milk. And I was so impressed with that like anyway, back to the whole argument. So now it's like 6 weeks later, she's gone back to work. We're a week in. And she's at work full time and overtime. And I kind of felt like she was freaking out a little bit. I felt like she was like, holy shit, like I actually did this. I actually had a whole person, and now I'm like responsible for that person. And maybe if I just go to work, I won't have to be responsible for that person as much. And like I think she like had like a little bit of a breakdown in that. And she definitely went through some postpartum depression and some suffering there. And I was trying to be supportive, but at the same time strict. Like on my mother's days to take her to work, my mom would show up an hour early with breakfast, and mom would wake Nova up, clean her up, change her diaper, get her dressed, and do everything for Layla so that Layla didn't have to lift a finger before work. And I was like, that is so impractical. She's got to learn how to take care of herself and Nova both first thing in the morning. After work, I'm cool with like taking her to get food and like chill and whatever, but like that first thing in the morning was important to me. I felt like she need like what if something happens to us and she doesn't know what to do in the morning or how to get herself together. Like it was important to me that she learned how to handle those mornings. And so on mom's mornings, Layla had it easy, and on my mornings, she did not. I would just kind of show up and is the baby changed? No. Well, why not? Well, because nanny normally does that. Okay, but it's my day and she should be changed and ready to go. Yeah, but like I'm not used to that. Okay, Layla, but you have to get used to it because you're a mom now and this is part of like that process. And we would that would start the argument and we would get into the car and we would be arguing, and she had this friend Rachel who I've been talking to lately. I really need to try and help her because she's going through some stuff too, but I've been like absent online. It's a whole thing. Anyway, back to the whole story. So we would also have to go pick up Rachel in Lynn Garden, which Rachel was like my age and Layla's new best friend. And this also kind of kicked my ass because I'm like, what, you're like adopting a new mom here? Like, what's happening? What is happening right now? And so Rachel would just kind of sit in the back of the car and listen to us bitch and moan at each other. And we had this really just awful fight one morning. And just, and she got out of the car. She slammed the door. Rachel gets out of the car. She closes her door. And I'm bawling my eyes out on the way home. And Nova's like a baby and a little bit like she's like 4 months old in the back seat. And I'm like, did I just destroy my daughter's morning? Like, did I just start her day in the worst way possible because I'm an asshole? Like, what kind of person does that? Like, I remember thinking in those moments, would it be better if we moved away? Would it be better for Leila if we weren't here? Like, I literally thought these things. Like, would it be better for her if I wasn't here to meddle in her shit? I had all of these crazy thoughts, and like, I didn't know if I was doing the right thing or not. I still don't know, you know, but I know what I do know is that when Layla was born, my mother made me feel like shit about everything I did. And I didn't want to be that.
Yeah.
And you can go through so many what ifs, you know what I mean, after the fact. I'm sure you do. But you were the best mother you knew how to be at the time. That's really what matters, right?
I hope so.
Yep. It is.
And again, I would relive that horrible that was the worst argument we've ever had, and we've had some really bad knockdown, breakdown, awful art, but that one in the car that day had me like climbing the walls, like I need out of this car. Like, it was so bad. And we did that argument in front of another person and the baby. And I remember like that hitting me so hard that we just didn't give a shit. We were so angry at each other that we just didn't give a shit who heard. And like, but I would relive that. I would relive that god awful day. I would relive it for eternity if it meant that she got to be in my presence. That I got to just be there with her.
Right.
God, isn't
for
it
even
wild?
5 minutes.
Isn't it wild the memories that you go through, the things you bring back up in cases like this, situations like this? It's so random.
It is. I mean, is it though? Like, I remember when my dad died, right? And when someone, it's so fucked up because they say like when someone dies, that person in their last moments, their life flashes before their eyes, right? But we don't really know that's true. What I do know is that when my father died, in the moment that I found out, in that moment, our life together, from the earliest memories until the end, flashed before my eyes.
Yeah.
I remembered the most random shit. Like the randomest of mornings, the randomest of dinners, just the most random memories. I wrote about it. I have a couple of posts about it. Like, I remembered the craziest things.
Yeah.
And
that's the part of grief.
Yeah,
That's a
it
part of
is.
grief. I know that unfortunately too well.
I know.
That's exactly that's I never thought of it like that now that you said that because they do
But
say it's
with
like the
Layla,
first
I
7
didn't get to
seconds.
have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but
It's-
it's technically your mind is though, like because you're still because it's like you were saying
But
earlier,
it's
you're
more
not.
slow. It's
Yeah,
happening more slowly over a
yeah,
long,
like you're
extended
still
period
grieving
of
that
time.
absence. You might not have like closure, but you're still doing that grieving whole process. And like anytime I've lost somebody in my life. That's exactly because even now, like things that happen related to or triggers, it's still all those memories flood in, and it's like a movie that plays.
It's like you're grieving in slow motion or
Mm-hmm.
nonstop. It's crazy.
I can
Yeah.
only imagine. I can only imagine it being in that type of situation, but that part, the reels, that's part of it. Absolutely,
I
the
always say it's
absence.
like grieving backwards. Because at first you have all this hope that your kid's just going to come home. Like, this is silly. Everyone's overreacting. This is so silly. She needs a break. She needs a break.
Yeah.
It's fine. I remember talking to my friend, Justin, a couple weeks in. And it was like right after 4th of July happened and all that. And he was newly sober. He hadn't even been sober a year, and he had been, on stuff for like 20 years straight with no breaks. And so like he was struggling. But I reached out anyway because he was one of my very best friends and we were always there for each other. And I reached out and I was like, I don't know what to think and I don't know what to do. And he said to me, do you remember being 19, 20? I was like, yeah. And he was like, do you remember how many times you disappeared on your parents? And I was like, oh, yeah. Yes, I do. And he was like, so calm down. It's Layla. She's fine. She's going to come home.
Wow.
Right? Justin had been in my life a decade at that point. He knew us. Like, it's fine. It's Layla. She's tough. There ain't nothing to worry about. She'll be back. Relax.
We all would have thought that.
Yeah, it happens so often, Jennifer. It's like we hear about cases all the time where a teenage girl has gone missing, and the next day on Facebook, it's updated. Oh, they're found safe. It happens. It just happened last week. It happened last week with another 16, 17-year-old girl constantly. So that makes sense. That would be the first thing you'd think.
Yeah.
But I also
Heck, my
remember
friend-
being a 19-year-old girl and like disappearing with some guy for a week or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, a friend of
I
mine even got
did.
marked as missing not long ago, and he's my age, and he was just out. And
Yeah.
even as an adult, which I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of surprised on how quick that they like posted him being missing since he was an adult and there was like no endangerment. Because they did, PBI posted it very quickly.
Yeah.
But, it was just him. Of course, because of Layla's circumstance, automatically now I look at everything different when I think of those. Like, I wouldn't second guess it now about a runaway. Like my best friend, she has a troubled teen. And, when he decides to run away, like I had told you, and I was like, well, he's probably out here, just walking with his buddy. I'm going to act like he's getting off the bus and come back home. But like, what should I say as a friend? And it's like automatically report. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that wouldn't have been my first thought until this stuff happened with Layla. Because I mean, I've
Look,
always,
y'all, my nephew Steven, when he was 13, he was too much for my mom. And this is another thing that I've wanted to discuss with the world for a long time. And I have his blessing to do so. It's a lot to talk about, and it still is painful for me. But he's 13. Opie and I are just dating. We just started dating. I just, got all of these kids thrown at me. My mom technically has custody of Dylan, Steven, and Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom cannot handle Steven. He's a lot. He has ADD and he is kind of like a mama's boy, and mama's in jail, and there's just a lot going on, and he's frustrated. He never, this is the fucked up thing, is that he never did anything even near close as bad as Layla had done when she was that age. And that's the thing that kind of drove me nuts with my mom, because she would get so frustrated with him, and he still like hadn't done anything to the degree that Layla had done at the same age. And I would be like, Mom, just can I just handle it? Like, and my mother, I don't know what was happening with my mother at the time. I don't know if she was jealous that he and I had such a close relationship, or that he like responded to me, or I don't know. Truth be told, I don't know really what was going on with my mom at that time, but like she would try to get him to like obey, and then it just took one conversation with me, and he would like, okay, and do what he was supposed to do. And I think that like made my mom upset.
Yeah.
And this is my opinion from, you know, like that experience, is that like I would get him to do the thing that she couldn't get him to do, and then she would get mad about it.
Right.
Well, a couple months goes by, we end up with this in-home therapist who was amazing. This woman was amazing. But my mother was just not capable of hearing her, right? This woman basically told my mom, he needs love. He needs to know that you love him, that he's loved, that he's cherished, that he is wanted here. He feels unwanted. He feels that, you know what I mean? And she's trying to get through to my mom. My mom basically kicked that lady out of the house.
Oh, wow.
And within a week, turned Steven into the state.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I tried to get him, but because I was so newly sober, it had only been about, I don't know, 18 months, almost 2 years. And the apartment I was living in was physically attached to Mom's house. I was told that if the apartment had been 6 inches separated from Mom's house, I would have gotten him.
No way.
Make that make sense.
Oh.
Make that make sense. It doesn't.
Crazy.
See, I saw Steven on at least 2 or 3 missing persons flyers.
Yeah, okay. I'm getting there. So
Okay.
Now, that entire summer, Steven had been doing like these frontier health programs, equestrian programs, like different programs. And this woman had been sponsoring him financially to do the programs. I forget what her name is, but she was this like millionaire woman who had been adopting. She was a millionaire with a female partner who had been adopting young boys for decades. Okay? Young boys with blonde hair and blue eyes. Okay? Now I didn't know a whole lot about her. I just knew that she had sponsored Steven. And that when my mom tried to turn him over to the state, she offered to take him as a foster.
Okay.
Okay. So the state agrees to let this woman take him, except that she wanted to take him to California. And the state of Tennessee said, no, you can't just take him to California. And she was like, wait a minute. Like, I've taken on this child, and now you're telling me I can't. Because she split her time between here and California, right? It was like 6 months here, 6 months California. She homeschooled her kids, and the state of Tennessee said, no, you cannot take him to California. And the only loophole was to send him to military school.
Oh my gosh.
In, I don't know, like Wyoming or some crazy shit, or like New Mexico. I don't even know. It was like the Midwest. And so she does. She sends him to military school. Okay. He's just been ripped out of his home. His mom's in jail. She's also just been like, it's not even been a year that she's been like a paraplegic. And they take him and move him 1,000 miles away. right? And I talk to this woman weekly because I'm the closest person to Steven. And I ask her every week, have you gotten him a therapist yet? Well, no, the military school will handle him. He needs therapy.
Oh my
He
gosh.
needs therapy. He
Yeah.
has been traumatized since the time he was 2 when his baby brother died in the next fucking room in daycare. He's never had therapy. Please help my nephew. You have the power, you have the money, you have the resources. Please help my nephew. Nope. Military school. He just needs discipline.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Well, then Trish had she had gotten released and then ended up back in jail. And the weekend that she ended up back in jail, Steven snuck off base with a handful of other kids. They, quote unquote, robbed a liquor store. They ran in and grabbed bottles and ran out. And they all got drunk. And Steven got so drunk that he woke up in a hospital with fucking alcohol poisoning at 13.
Oh my god. 13 years old.
With no one that loved him by his side, without a phone call, I mean, it was awful. It was fucking horrible. So now Christmas rolls around and he asks his foster mom, can I spend Christmas with my Aunt Jen? She grants him that, okay? He was home for Christmas. He was in my apartment. I picked him up from the airport. He was in my apartment for Christmas. It was a great time. His friends came. Like, it was great. We had a great time. There was no issues except he and his little brother had an argument, and Steven swung on Dylan, and Dylan ended up with a black eye, which my mother took pictures of and sent to the new foster mommy.
Oh, great.
At the end of the visit, I sent Steven back to his military school, and a week later I got a call from the assistant of the foster mom. We can't do this anymore. He's too much. We can't, his damage is too much. We can't handle it.
Yeah.
First of all, he doesn't even live with you. He lives in a school hundreds of miles away from you. So what, he's embarrassing you? His beautiful, pretty boy looks aren't enough. It was crazy. And so I'm trying to okay, this is what I need. We're buying a house. I can take him, but I can't take him the day of the court date. Can he finish school? And at the end of that, I will take over. Can I get settled into our new home? And then I will 100% take over. Will your lawyers allow for that? Will they help me navigate that? This woman.
Jennifer, what year was this?
This is 2020 going into 2021. This is January 2021. This woman convinced me that yes, her lawyers will help me. And she plans on just handing him over to me at court. And can I pick him up at the airport? It'll be more comfortable for him. And this, that, and the third. So I pick him up at the airport. He spends the night with me. And this is a couple weeks before we have to actually buy the house and move in.
Yeah.
And we go to court. I'll never fucking forget it. We go to court. I'm sitting there with Steven. She's on the other side with her assistant. And she says to the judge, this young man is a monster. He is an absolute monster. Look what he did to his brother.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh. He needs to be locked up. That's what she says. And I stood up and I was like, wait a minute, what? I thought custody was just being transferred to me. I thought that's why we were here today. So did Steven. Okay, so now we have a 13-year-old boy having a full-blown fucking panic attack in the courtroom. He has no idea what's about to happen to him. Not a fucking clue. Okay, and he wasn't a monster. Not yet. But she sure made him one.
So okay, Jennifer, hold on. One thing that's hitting me right now is this is at least 2 years before Layla goes missing.
Yeah. Yep.
You're dealing with all this other shit with
Yeah.
other children.
No, Ryan, they're not other children. They're my kids. They've always been my kids.
You consider
I have
them your
always been
kids,
the other parent for these kids their entire lives. These are my kids.
but they're Jennifer, and I all due respect. I mean, you know I respect you. You know I respect you. So I'm just saying this as a friend, like you're trying to save the world here while you're your own daughter too. Like it feels like you were trying at the time in 2021 to like save everyone.
But at 2021, Layla had been released and was doing better and had a job, and she was doing really well at that point.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Layla,
Okay.
yeah. We had moved on from Layla's issues, and she was doing really, really well.
Okay.
Okay, so
that's
had
great. It was
Layla
only-
been still having the same issues, things might have been different. I
Okay.
won't lie.
Okay.
But
I take it back
Steven
then.
and Dylan and Steven and Dylan and Gabby was 8 months old. My son Elijah was 3 months old. Okay. Dylan was 2, and Steven and Robbie were both 4
Okay.
when they came to me. Steven was basically mothering Dylan.
Wow.
I've never seen a 4-year-old take care of a 2-year-old so well in my life. Okay?
Yeah.
And that is because Trish had lost her fucking mind after her son died, and she had no support. She had no support.
Yeah.
There was no one there to like pick her up and shake her and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You have this many kids." Like, there was nothing. She had to be put on a plane and sent to me to get support. And that was decades ago. So now we're talking about 2020, 2021. And this woman, things are good for me at this point, right? Opie and I are moving into this house, and Layla's doing really, really well, and things are good. Layla had her own place at that point. She was pregnant with Nova. She had her own, like, all the things. Like, things were really good. Her pregnancy was amazing. Our relationship during her pregnancy was amazing. Things were so good. And this horrible thing happened to Steven. And I was trying to help him, and we end up in this like meeting after like court happened. And I remember being very, very quiet at first, and then looking at this woman and being like, what just happened? And as soon as I started asking her questions, she looked at the DCS caseworker and was like, I need this woman removed.
What?
She had me kicked out of the meeting.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
I'm not kidding. Like, this is not a joke. This is what happened. She had me. This millionaire who could have simply signed this young man over to, but that would be a failure on her part, right? And she would look silly in front of her friends. She would look like an idiot in front of her friends. And how dare she, in front of her other millionaire friends, just give up on a kid? No, the kid had to be a monster. She had to label him so that she could go back to her whatever the fuck life and say, well, the kid was a monster. Look, he was a sociopath. Like, he's never been diagnosed a sociopath, but she tried to make him out to be. And I'm telling you that if he had not been dealt the hand that he was dealt, God damn it, he was a good kid.
Sounds like
until there was no room for good for him anymore. Then he spent a year in a facility. And at the end of the year, they were trying to find him a foster home. And he was 14. He was 14 years old. He's a 14-year-old fucking boy. And so he went to see a few foster homes. And there was one that wanted him and that was going to take him on. But they also had like a 16-year-old girl in the house. And he came back and he made a comment to a friend about how hot the girl was. No, how dare a 14-year-old boy make a comment about the attraction of a 16-year-old girl? That makes him a monster, I guess. I mean, fuck. And they refused him the home based on the fact that he made a comment about the fact that the 16-year-old girl was attracted. Are you kidding me? That's why they can't place teenagers. Are you fucking serious right now? Because kids that age talk about each other that way all the time.
Oh, it is.
So Jennifer, people have made this comment to me directly, and I've seen it in comments elsewhere, and you're not going to like this, so I'm just going to ask the question, but how do we respond to this type of thing? People will ask, could Steven, what was the age difference between Steven and Layla, by the way?
Oh God. Okay, wait. If Steven 4 years? 3 years.
4 years. He was younger than Layla.
Yeah.
Is it possible, even remotely, in any way, that he could have had anything to do with what happened with Layla?
Only if he escaped the jail he was in at the time. That's the only way.
That's another story.
Okay, well,
I mean,
there you go.
it
Yeah.
would be possible for county, but I highly doubt it.
He was in jail. He
Okay,
was in
well,
jail. Like, things got, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, Steven's life went downhill so hard. And so, like, at this point, they had been telling him he's going to get a foster home. He's going to get a foster. And finally, he's like, fuck this. I've been here a year. I completed all of the things they asked me to complete. I did all the therapy. I completed all the testing. I did everything. And they won't find me a home. And every home that wants me, they tell me I can't go to.
Yeah.
So he left.
Your local Heather forecast, it sounds like he was in jail at the time that Layla disappeared.
Yeah,
so,
he was in jail at the time Layla disappeared. He was in man jail. He was moved from juvenile group home to man jail that same summer.
Jail is a rock solid alibi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the record.
Yeah.
The other thing too, and the last thing I think we'll cover here, is that correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a traumatic event. Layla was doing good in 2020, 2021. She had a job. Obviously, she had her child.
Yeah.
There was a death in the family, and this is a common theme. We were obsessed for a while with intervention. Okay.
Yeah.
And like 80% of these stories, these people were coping with a major loss, either the parent, grandparent, something like that, and they self-medicated instead of getting therapy and medicine and coping. They turned to drugs. And I remember
it was my dad.
Yes, I remember hearing about your dad. Do you think that was pretty much
100%?
Yeah, that was the tripping point.
Yeah.
And you dealt with it. You've dealt with it in your own way. What do you think? What do you think triggered her to choose that instead of just kind of the normal grieving process?
She was suffering from postpartum depression. She was not getting treated for it. And then my dad stabbed himself in the heart in my mom's bathroom. So, that'll fuck a person up. My dad was the male figure for her that never left her side. That was always there, right? He was the most consistent male person in her life. And then he was gone right after she just had a baby. Okay. And it was 3 months later that she met Michael. And she could help Michael get clean and believe she was his salvation.
Oh my God.
And by the next summer, Michael was tempting her to experiment. And by the following summer, she was a full-blown addict. So.
Oh, I didn't know that, Jennifer. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God, you must have so much anger toward Michael. I'm sorry, but you must have so much anger.
I don't know that I have hatred toward Michael. I think Michael's been through.
Yeah.
Take it away, Sierra. I'm gonna pee.
Yeah, Michael has no great come up story neither. I mean, Unfortunately, Michael went through a lot of trials growing up, and he had issues at home with his family. Obviously, no family's perfect. Um, you know, his dad
A
was
lot,
dad as much as he could be, or that Michael allowed it. Michael kind of got to the point when he got to a certain age, he kind of just went off away from everybody. He kind of had no adults to guide him, and the adults that he did have were not good influences.
yeah, that's a typical.
And
Yeah,
he kind of grew up around a lot of nonsense, a lot of anger, a lot of drugs. I mean, there's just a lot of factors there with Michael too on
a
his
lot
end,
of people, a lot of
you
people
know.
still, a lot of people still suspect Michael. Unfortunately, I know he was interrogated, but a lot of people still suspect him.
Well, people are going to always, and it's unfortunate that's how it is, but he's got to understand too the position he was in at the time. Of course, people are going to look at the last person you were with, and unfortunately, that was
Yeah,
him, and she was running from him at the same time. So people are automatically going to think that, that was the reason for it, or that he had some parts in it.
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, a lot of people are talking about potential drug deaths that they had and motivation related to drug deaths, and it's like it's hard not to believe that shit. You know what I mean? When you hear about if they did owe a lot of money and if he did throw her under the bus.
Well, that is always a possibility. There's
Yeah,
no way
yeah,
to
I
know
mean,
for
that
sure.
has been, been told. And I mean, honestly, anything's a possibility. Things related to him is also a possibility. Not directly him, but
But it doesn't
somebody that they're
necessarily
mutual
make it
with.
his fault either.
No, it's just a sticky situation, unfortunately. And I mean, that's just the way it is.
And
yeah,
do I have days where I blame him? Absolutely. Had he never entered her life, she might still be here. And one of Layla's best friends is kin to him. And she and I still talk, but we still butt heads when it comes to him. And it's like I get that you love him, and I get that he's your family, and I know that she feels about him the same way I feel about my nephew. My
yeah.
nephew's done some fucked up things, but I love him, and I know there's still good in him, and I know she feels the same way about, her kin, right? But at the
Right.
same time, it's like I've lost my child, and yeah, does he have to, should he shoulder a little bit of blame here? Absolutely. But I've done forgiven the man.
Well,
He
it's good for you to forgive him because, I mean, you already have enough to carry on your heart. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I mean, he is a younger guy and he's been through a lot of things. So I'm sure that there's a lot that he's going to live with. He's going to live with that till the day he dies, just the same, thinking the same kind of things, whether he was involved, not involved, you know?
Yeah. Oh man, we could talk to you guys. We've talked to you guys, I mean, in person all the time forever about this, and we could probably talk all night. I didn't mean to keep you here for 3 hours. I'm so sorry. I think Opie's passed out already.
He is.
Yep.
He's knocked out.
I can kind of
I
see
do want to
that.
say, though, before we hop off,
Yeah.
that for one, it is coming up to be around 3 years. I'm sure that there's going to be some things that are going event wise, and I do want to do some searches.
Yep.
Sooner the better. And I know y'all have got people and support, anybody local that is good to the heart that really want to come and help search. We'd always take genuine volunteers,
Yep. And
It's
searches,
just
by the way, for anyone watching, and we get a lot of follow-up rewatch, the rewatch crew, is that what they call them?
Yes.
A lot of people watching afterwards who are local. If you guys, you don't need special equipment, just
mm-mm.
Legs.
Yourself.
boots and being willing to walk through the woods and look. We appreciate anyone willing to volunteer for searching
Mhm.
locally in the Tri-Cities area. If you're willing to drive in, that's great. In the summertime, Sierra often will trigger a particular area, a search that we end up creating like a group in Facebook, and we let everyone know where to meet, and we kind of organize it that way. So if you're willing to participate, you can reach out to myself. I think that's probably the easiest way, and I can forward you to kind of Sierra and Jess. They run the whole show. So yeah, 100% search volunteers are needed. The other thing too is, Jennifer, are you planning anything this summer in June?
Oh yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of expected that. That's why I was kind of throwing that out there for people to be on the eye for things that Jen will post. And like I said, I definitely want to start getting some searches going, which we've already been doing searches, but it's summertime before it starts getting super overgrown. We need to get out there.
Yeah. Yep. And
I prefer to memorialize Layla's birthday over her disappearance day.
Oh, that's like when was her birthday?
August 5th.
August 5th. Okay.
Like
so we will put a link to Jennifer's Facebook page, YouTube page, everything, so you guys can keep up to date on any events. Jennifer always posts it on her platforms, so keep an eye out for that, and we'll be there. We always try to be there. We should be able to this summer as well. So yeah, volunteers, please attend the events. I would love to see 100 times more people this year than last year. I think it's important to support Jennifer and Opie and the rest of the family in this many years going by. There has to be answers, and the best way to support them is to be there in person. We'll be there. So say hi to you, say hi to Jen, say hi to the search team, and we look forward to seeing everyone. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you,
Sierra.
No, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Sweet dreams, Opie.
Good night, Opie.
Love his little heart.
He's done.
Yeah. All right, love you.
As soon as I seen the phone go down, I already knew.
Love you guys. Good night.
Love you all. Thank y'all for your support.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't know this live was going to be this long.
Lots to talk about.
We dove deep into some of the side stories with Jennifer, and I wasn't expecting that, but it's important because all of it is information and important to understand what Layla went through and what she was going through at that point in her life. The family's going through so much. Please, anyone who has been attacking them for asking jealous of Opie. Yeah, he was passed
pretty
out.
comfy.
He was very passed out. And he's still passed out. I see him in the studio, still passed out. It's important to understand that when families are going through something like this, and they're going through a difficult period, like almost losing their house, they're going to ask for help, and it's understandable. It's understandable when you're going through a struggle in your life that you're going to ask for help, and that's not something to judge them for.
No, it's a sense of strength to know when you need to ask for help.
They're willing to ask for help. So,
yeah.
And most people do understand that, and I think there were people that helped them, which is amazing. And thank you to all the people that helped them through that period of time when they almost lost their house. It sounds like everything's better now and things are looking good. So yeah, please don't forget to like this live. For those of you who are just showing up, if you have watched this all the way through, we appreciate you and love you so much. Thank you for supporting us. And Moon's here licking my hand. I can't use the mouse.
That's why he's looking down. Moon's here.
We do have still a lot coming in the works. We are going to be doing a lot of searches this summer for Leila. We're going to be bringing in the drone guy. Possibly Nug and Adam will be coming this summer. We're really hoping they do. He texted us a couple weeks ago, but gas prices are causing problems. Yeah, but hopefully Nug and Adam will also be here this summer. We'll be searching for multiple cases, several cases. And this next week we're on a trip. We're going to Pennsylvania. We're going to be getting Moon certified. Hopefully.
Pray for that.
Pray for
please.
Moon, please. She needs the support of everyone. We'll be filming it all. We're going to be supporting the American Working Dog Association in their seminar in Pennsylvania. The president's going to be there this year, I believe. So we'll probably be interviewing the president of the American Working Dog Association. I really hope. And we'll be filming the whole thing. You guys will see Moon hopefully getting certified. And
no pressure.
No pressure, Moon. No pressure,
no pressure, Moon.
There's also there's a few new cases that popped up in the radar. It's so hard, you guys, because the week after we're going to Maine. Got to attend our my brother's funeral. We're going to be taking care of that. Coming back, and there's a couple new cases that popped up on the radar. There's a missing person in the Tri-Cities that I think we can actually help with because it's a straightforward case. There's a he disappeared near a wildlife refuge. There's a water source. I'm really hoping Nug and Adam can possibly help with that case.
Good.
If not, we're going to take Moon and help. There's also a girl that just went missing. I feel horrible because we're leaving for 2 weeks, and I feel like these are 2 brand new cases that we could probably help. We could actually help with, but we have business to take care of. We have stuff to do, so got to get Moon certified so we can help more in these cases. There's always more coming up, unfortunately, in the area, but. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. For those of you who stayed with us 3 hours, we really love you and appreciate you. For those of you who watched this on the rewatch crew for 3 hours, we love you and appreciate you.
Love you all.
Couldn't do this without you all. Members, especially those of you who have joined as members. We just got a new one tonight. Thank you so much for your support. For those of you who simply watch our videos, like, subscribe, share, it supports more than you realize just watching our videos, honestly. So thank you all. Love you all.
Love you all. What?
And have a good night.
Good night.
All right. Good night, you guys.